course.
So
of course.
I'll have like 5 total servings of Thanksgiving by the time it's 1
I don't
today.
know why, but donut yesterday. I had one plate.
Oh,
And that's it. Yeah, I was really depressed.
I've had that happen to me.
I was like, all right, well, it was really good, but now I feel like today is really where
You
a
can
lot of the
indulge
food,
fully.
Yeah.
No, you can fully go. I mean, I would say the Chiefs should fully indulge today, but I don't know if they deserve it after yesterday. I would say you guys should dig in, but hey, 6-6. It is. Here's the thing, Drew. Win out territory for the Kansas City Chiefs has officially begun.
We are here.
31-28 lost yesterday to the Dallas Cowboys in Dallas, and it's an NFC team, so it's not over. It's not the Colts. They won that game, but we're in win out territory. If they want any chance of seeing the postseason, making the playoffs, they have to win out the rest of the season. And probably hope for some things to go their way. But I think if they win out the rest of the year, they'd make the playoffs. But I don't know why they would. I don't know what is showing me right now. There's some positives that you could point to. Like, that's the best offense you'll play for the rest of the season. That's one positive that I thought about yesterday after the loss. But, I mean, there's so many other things that I look to that have yet to get fixed. Penalties, again, yesterday.
Yeah, it's been a constant. How many did they have? 10 for 119, I believe,
I think
is what
so.
it was. And there were a few that were
double-digit penalties, triple digits in yards. Unbelievable. And some of those were bad calls. We could talk about that. The officiating was rough.
Of course,
But, I don't care. I don't really care.
In the end, ultimately, it's really hard it's hard for me to ever blame officiating for the reason why you lose a game, unless it is Rams, Saints type of or whatever game, Saints, whatever that sort of a pass interference call late in the game where it directly influences things.
Egregious, yeah.
We didn't get that where, there were some bad calls, but in the end, there are some where you got to be more disciplined and you got to be just better.
Yep. And it wasn't just the PIs. There was one on Josh Simmons that definitely wasn't a hold in my opinion. But again, I don't want to go through all of these calls and say, listen, this was bad.
And just nitpick, yeah.
No, and nitpick, listen, you had 25 minutes where you did nothing on offense. You had 4 straight 3 and outs. The defense, 3rd straight game of not recording a sack. First time in Spagnuolo's career where his defense has done that. Just unacceptable things with this team over and over and over again. And I'm losing patience. I'm done at this point. I've been the positive guy. I've been the, hey, we have a chance, optimistic, here we go. And again, is it over? Not technically, no.
No.
But do I feel like it's over? Yeah, kinda. Yesterday sucked.
I think Patrick Mahomes kind of phrased it well in the post-game presser as, look, we've shown that we can beat anybody, but we also can lose to anybody. And, you look at what that typically means, and, 9-8, it feels like that it feels like, to your point, Mac, of this seems like it's that type of team. Where they're 9-8, they're fighting to be 10-7, which we know at this point doesn't seem to be good enough to make the wild card. Your 10-7 is not enough to win the division by any stretch. I don't think, obviously. So you're putting yourselves in a position where what we're seeing on TV is a team that is not capable of doing what it takes, what it seems to take to make the playoffs this year, which is 11-6. 10-7, but they've lost the tiebreakers to all the teams. They highlighted that yesterday. Chargers right now loss. Jacksonville loss. Buffalo loss. There's a lot of things that we're going to break down throughout the show. But looking at the overall optics of it going forward, I totally understand why you feel that way and why other people feel that way. I mean, we have people saying that we need to rebuild.
And we could talk about what that word means, but I mean. There's a reset, maybe would be the better verbiage in my opinion. I mean, listen, I've been mentioning this for the past couple weeks. What did the Chiefs do to get better in the offseason, getting ready for this year, prepping to continue and extend this dynastic run? How did they get better? Josh Simmons. That is it, and that is the only answer. They did nothing. Yeah. Nothing. The draft does not help them. And if you want to talk about the coaching staff not playing the players.
No Williams.
No Williams not getting a lot of snaps yesterday. Again, if you want to talk about some of the coaching staff being at fault for some of those decisions, fine. Brett Veach can only draft the players, right? At some point, you got to
totally
Billy Bean or whatever it is. You're Brad Pitt and Moneyball, and you're just cutting guys, and you're saying, play them. Philip Seymour Hoffman, play them.
Can Brashard get a carry? Can he get a carry?
Right, like Jeffrey Bassa, he was supposed to be good in coverage. There are multiple guys. Ashton Gelati had a tackle for loss yesterday. He had a moment. But that's a rookie. Like, how much can you really depend on it? And then in the free agency, you're paying Christian Fulton for healthy scratches, 2-year, $20 million. Healthy scratch. Meanwhile, you've got McDuffie, the best slot corner in the game, playing outside, getting cooked repeatedly. You have the, like, so yeah, a reset's absolutely needed. And that could be from the coaching staff. That could be from a GM perspective. Not saying that Brett Veach needs to be out, but a reset from Veach's mentality of going, okay, how do I get the guys that I want in the game? How do I, reconfigure this defensive and offensive system? We've got a lot of big defensive ends, a lot of slow edge rushers. Okay, how do I bring in the Micah Parsons, the Will Andersons, those archetypes of the world? Like, on offense, do we become a run-first team with Patrick Mahomes being the play-action slayer and the improviser out of the pocket, like giving him those opportunities to kill? I know you said it over text, Drew, yesterday, and then you said it off the air before we started. Like, Andy Reid also, like, you can talk about the roster, and trust me, I'm Brett Veach's number one critic, but Andy Reid's got to give his guys the chance to go make plays.
Yeah. I think that to me, the one thing that bothered me maybe the most, and I'm sure we'll get to the defense in a second. Obviously, when McDuffie and Jalen Watson are having struggles, and that's the best part of your defense, it probably means that you're not having a very good day at the office. But from the standpoint of at halftime, and I know that we kind of beat this topic to death over the course of the earlier part of the week in terms of they got to run the football, they got to do this. They had more runs, technically. Mahomes, I know, had 2 of them, but they had more runs than throws in the first half. And I understand Patrick Mahomes was part of it, but he ran the ball twice, threw it for 12 times. So he had 14 plays for Patrick Mahomes when the ball was in his hands. 13 of them, other runs that the ball was not in his hands for. To me, if he is the best quarterback in the planet, which I believe we all think is true, then you shouldn't be running the ball as many times as you're throwing it or running it more than you're throwing it. I think that's something that, and I don't know if that's an Andy Reid thing, if that's a scheme thing, if that is but to me, you trust your best players and let them go and win you the game and make the plays. And I know that Kareem Hunt has been solid in the run game.
Yes.
But there comes a time when you just have to, and Tony Romo said it multiple times during the broadcast this week and last week, I think, you just got to let Mahomes cook. Let him do his thing. Then sometimes you see him make some bad throws, and it's like, well, can't get on the page. And at the same time, it's like, well, running the ball is effective. So it feels like a loss here, where it's like, let this dude do his thing because he's the best at what he does. But then there's moments where he doesn't look as good as what we've seen him be before. So do you want to just continue to run the football? I don't know. You obviously need to have a balance, but it makes it's hard to watch this offense. All the things that we were promised, Mac, because we were and I'm by promised when Rashee Rice and Xavier Worthy before the season are saying, man, you guys just need to watch out.
Get ready, man.
The deep ball is back, baby. All of these things. It's the exact same offense they had last year, and everybody's, for the most part, been on the field for them.
No one's open. 4 straight 3-and-outs yesterday. They go through regularly. Half of the game, there will just be a lull. They started 2 great drives to start the game. I know one of them was off of a turnover, short field. They capitalized, 14 points to start the game. Didn't score again the rest of that. It's mind-boggling how quickly this offense can go from hero to zero, and it happens within a game, within a drive. And at some point, you're right. You can only point the finger so many places. You've got the offensive line, I know, besides yesterday, right? Yesterday it went to you-know-what. It went to crap. And we can talk about Josh Simmons, him being out if he's gone the rest of the year, which it looks to be a wrist injury. Went out of the game yesterday with a cast, or left the locker room, rather, after the game with a cast on. Looks like we'll see, the timeline with him, but this is an offensive lineman, and you're talking about his wrist. Yeah, that's a pretty important part of the body for that position. So we'll see, the offensive line is now going to be extremely hindered. But before that, you had your offensive line healthy and was playing above average to pretty solid, to pretty good, to pretty damn good. You had your wide receivers healthy. You had your tight end there. Everyone was healthy. Everyone's there. It's no longer the offensive line. It's no longer the wide receivers. And at some point, I need answers for why this offense can't score, can't be productive, can't be efficient, can't get the job done. And at some point, you have to stop pointing fingers. It's got to be on the head coach. And I can look at some advanced stats, and trust me, I'm the stats guy, Drew. I'm the nerd. the DVOA, the EPA per dropback, like all that stuff looks really good, looks elite. And that's what I've been pointing to. Like, listen, like it's going to revert back to the mean. Look at these advanced stats. These don't lie. And I think part of that's true. But to me, to make sense of it, and this is how I've made sense of it, Drew, those advanced stats are Mahomes going in the water. He's drowning. Help! Help! That's him. Look, I'm still elite. I'm dragging this team from the mud. I'm helping you up. I'm lifting you up. My back is tired. And I'm trying to show you that I'm still this guy. We saw it yesterday, one of the best Mahomes plays of his career. And that's not hyperbolic. Quinnen Williams, top 5 defensive lineman, breaks the tackle, jumps out of another guy's grasp, and throws a rocket to what's supposed to be the fastest player in the NFL, and it looked like a 38-year-old tight end running to the sideline. That's a different topic as well. But he can make those plays. That's Mahomes saying, I need someone. And that someone's Big Red. This is on you now. This is on you.
I agree. Ultimately, I think you have to look at the head coach for these for this now because of the players being. And this is the thing too. There's no argument that they don't have the talent. Like this is not a Sky Moore, Kadarius Toney, DeAndre Hopkins, older DeAndre Hopkins led wide receiver room. Like this is not a couple of rookies who are still trying to find their way in Rashee Rice and Xavier. This is a couple years in Rashee Rice. This is 2 years in Xavier Worthy. And I know he's beaten up and banged up, but he's out there, okay? Plain and simple. And he's running around, and he's out there. Hollywood Brown is healthy right now. Travis Kelce looks the best that he has been in terms of shape in the last couple of seasons. How is it looking as bad as it has been previously? That I think ultimately, and I know that ultimately Matt Nagy is a part of things, and he's gotten a lot of the blame, but you have to, at this point, look to Andy Reid, and I think to your point, Mac, and we've heard this throughout, and we were just talking about it pre-show, we keep hearing how close this team is every week. I don't know if it's been Mahomes saying it, or if it's been Andy saying it, or if it's both, or if it's mainly Andy. And I think it's mainly Andy who's missing. No, we're close. There's a couple things that are missing, but it's every single week where, yes, they might be able to put up 28 points, but it feels like it is the most difficult thing on the planet where the Chiefs score and then the Cowboys 4 plays later are right back in the red zone again. And it's like, all right, man, well, what is this? George Pickens is hurdling Trent McDuffie after he catches and spins around. And I think nobody's able to get open. And I don't know if that is a player thing, or if that is a scheme thing and it's not working thing, or if it's the offensive line, or if Mahomes just isn't seeing anybody, which at times it feels like it's been all 3 of those things throughout the course of the last 4 or 5 weeks of the year.
It's really disappointing because you're right. The answers, the problem solvers, all the things that you'd think that could fix the issues on this team and help this team win games and produce more effectively are there. It feels like you've got a lot of the ingredients in the kitchen. A lot of them. I don't think all of them. I think, again, we could talk about the GM and his issues, and we can do that throughout the show. But right now, I'm pointing at the head coach, and I don't know what else this team can do. And we're going to talk about the defense as well, because I think the defense has a lot to answer as well. We're going to talk about the left tackle throughout today. We're gonna do a little one word. If you listen with us on Fesco and Dusty around 7:30, we do one word. We'll do that today at 8:30. We've got Sean Smith at 9 o'clock coming on the show. Go. Former Chiefs defensive lineman. We'll have Josh Briscoe pre and post game the Chiefs Radio Network for Chiefs games. He'll be live with us right at 10 o'clock. So we've got a loaded show today. Live with you guys, Drew Nixon, Mac Morey, live until 11 a.m. Black Friday football coverage right here on 96.5 The Fan. It is your home for the Kansas City Chiefs.
You're listening to Black Friday football coverage with Mac Morey and Drew Nixon on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
What's up, Missouri? Tony Gonzalez here. I've spent a lot of Sundays right here playing in front of the best fans in football. And now it's almost your turn to get in the game because DraftKings Sportsbook is coming to the Show Me State on December 1st. Soon you'll get fast payouts when you win, a safe and secure app that's easy to use, and promos that keep the action going all season long. It's America's top-rated sportsbook app. New customers can sign up right now and score $300 in bonus bets on launch day, December 1st.
Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code 965. New Missouri customers, sign up today and score $300 in bonus bets once we're live. That's code 965. In partnership with DraftKings Sportsbook. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 and over. Physically present in Missouri. Eligibility restrictions apply. Terms at DraftKings.com/sportsbook. Subject to regulatory licensing requirements. Bonus bets are non-withdrawable and expire 7 days after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos.
This is Kevin Harlan, and the Black Friday sales event is on right now at Rob's Site Ford, but not for long. Hey, Rob, what's cooking this week?
Kevin, we're serving up 0% for 66 months on most new Ford models. F-150s, Escapes, Explorers, Transits, you name it.
That is a full spread of savings, unlike your mashed potatoes last year, which needed a carving knife.
Okay, brisket man, but hey, these deals, certified fresh and only here for 1 week.
You heard the man. Black Friday savings all week, and once they're gone, they're gone. Plus, Kansas City's only top-rated Ford dealer on Google. 4.8 stars, nearly 3,000 reviews. Voted best car dealership in Kansas City by Kansas City Magazine.
At Rob's Site Ford, we keep it simple. Non-commissioned sales team, top trade-in values, and the lowest prices in Kansas City.
135th and State Line or robsite.com.
If you want simple, upfront, and easy, there's only one R that matters. Rob's Site Ford. Rob's Site Ford. Buy right with Rob's Site.
And maybe leave the mashed potatoes to someone else this year.
Hello, Crushers. It's your host, DJ Divine, telling you that Candy Crush music season is here.
Tasty.
Conquer levels to mix your own track and win sweet rewards.
Divine.
Now let's swipe to the next track. Take it away, Thundercat. Candy Crush music season. Play now. From November 3rd to December 7th, selected players level 36 plus. Terms apply. See in-game. Optional in-game purchases.
Welcome back to Winter Hack Radio, the place for clever hacks to survive the season. Icy driveway? Well, try spreading sand or birdseed to help with traction. Snowy puppy paws? Well, grab a whisk, brush it off, done. Catch COVID-19? Well, just get...
Actually, there's no hack for COVID-19. But if you test positive, prescription medications for COVID exist. Ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. Ever wonder why Big Wireless wants you on an unlimited plan? They probably want you to cover the cost of those 20-somethings using all that data every month. But most people 50 and up like me only use 12 gigs or less. Don't get bamboozled by Big Wireless. Switch to Consumer Cellular. Our plans start at just $20, and we use the same towers as the big guys. Join the millions who choose something better, because if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com/facts. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Charlie's battery is struggling to start. Not ideal before the tailgate, so he goes to AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone,
where friendly AutoZoner tests his battery for free. Looks like he needs a new one, so he gets a Duralast battery.
Have fun and stay warm.
And he makes it to the tailgate early enough to get his favorite spot. Free battery testing and charging. No hassles, just help.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
This holiday season, make your airport parking stress-free with Park & Go, Kansas City's family-owned favorite. Picture this, all-covered parking that protects your car from snow and ice so you don't have to be out in the cold clearing off your car. But Park & Go offers more than just parking. It's a holiday experience. Their friendly, helpful staff will greet you with a smile and guide you every step of the way. Worried about missing your flight? Their 24/7 complimentary shuttle service will be waiting at your car and delivers you to the terminal quicker than Santa's sleigh. Don't forget to join Park & Go's Frequent Parker program so you can earn points for free parking. It's like a holiday gift that keeps on giving. This holiday season, give yourself the gift of covered parking, top-notch service, and unbeatable savings at Park & Go. Always the best service, always the best price. Reserve your spot today at bookparkandgo.com. That's bookparkandgo.com. From the Park & Go family to yours. Happy holidays, Kansas City.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Yeah, the guys know. I mean, they understand. We've got to clean up a few things, and we've got to do better as coaches. We have to do better as players, and so you go back to the drawing board and you keep working is what you do. And we were close here, but we had too many opportunities that we gave away, and you can't. Two good teams playing each other, you can't have those things.
I mean, if you're close so many times, at some point, if I'm playing my older brother in basketball and every time I lose, but I'm close, at some point, how close am I really? Because I think my older brother's probably just keeping it close. At some point, the score isn't really indicative of how close it is. 28-31 yesterday. How close really was it? You scored at the very end. By the way, hey, nice job, offense. You go score super quick. Where's that been for half an hour? Just ridiculous. So the entire football game, where has that been? You go score. Then you're counting on your defense again to save you again. Andy Reid, best offensive play caller, best offensive mind, most innovative guy of all time. This is the guy who changed the way. Where is that? Where is that? Best quarterback of all time, most talented quarterback of all time. The baby GOAT. You are not letting him thrive. It's ridiculous. You've got Rashee Rice, Xavier Worthy. I don't know where to go anymore, but you are not as close as you say if over and over again is the same result. It's the same things happening.
Well, and ultimately, I think it gets tiring because it doesn't matter how close you are. If you keep losing, it doesn't matter. You are 6-6. You are whatever they are, 10th in the playoffs. 10th.
Yeah. Yep.
With Patrick Mahomes, the defense is healthy.
Actually, they are 9th.
They're 9th. Hey.
They're 9th thanks to you guys.
What? Hey, you're welcome. one step closer, I guess, to keep it in the conversation, to keep the theme up. It just gets tiring, I think, it should, at least.
Absolutely.
It should be tiring at this point for you to hear that week in and week out. When, to your point, Mac, every single game feels like it's a game of catch-up. Every single game.
And it feels like Groundhog Day. It's penalties. It's a turnover here or there. And I know yesterday that wasn't the case. Mahomes took care of the ball. No fumbles yesterday either from the running backs. Like, there were no turnovers yesterday. But overall, if you look at these losses, that's really what it is. It's a turnover. It's a lot of penalties. It's not capitalizing on the other team's mistakes. It's going through massive offensive lulls. It's the same issues every week. Live here until 11 a.m. on Black Friday football coverage right here on 96.5 The Fan. It's your home for the Kansas City Chiefs. Mac Morey and Drew Nixon with you until 11 a.m. 913-586-7965 is the Jay Southland Tow Service text line number if you want to be a part of the show. I know a lot of you do. We should probably take calls today, too, honestly. Like, we should probably get some of your guys' opinions. Maybe we do that after one word. We're going to do one word here coming up in about 10 minutes, maybe after that segment, before we have former Chiefs defensive lineman Sean Smith on at 9, maybe around 8:45 or so. Maybe we take some calls and just kind of let you guys vent and hear what you guys are thinking. Is the season over? I want to hear, are you guys done? Is it? I know most of you will probably say that. And again, I can't say it is officially over. But if you ask me, is this team making the playoffs? I'd probably say no. But is the season over? No. Like, both those things can be simultaneously true. We're live on YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, and Facebook as well, so you can watch us there on the Fan 965. Thank you so much for being a part of our Black Friday, or letting us be a part of your Black Friday, rather. I hope you guys all had a wonderful Thanksgiving besides this just terrible, inexplicable Chiefs loss. And again, you see this over and over and over again. Chiefs now 6-6, have dug themselves a hole, and the injuries aren't helping either, because Josh Simmons looks like he could be seriously out. And honestly, Drew, I ask all of you again, 913-586-7965. How far can this team even realistically go without 71 if he's not on the field? And we don't know. Jawan Taylor, obviously, he went out of the game yesterday with an elbow injury. I don't even want to talk about if it's Wanya Morris in there, but let's just say it's Jalen Moore and Jawan Taylor in the game. How much does that drop your ceiling?
I think they can still. It doesn't hinder them to the point where they're just incapable of winning, of doing what they need to do to make it. If it's Jalen Moore in there, we saw what it was like with Wanya in there, where the first play he gets blown up and almost falls into Patrick Mahomes' legs.
He's atrocious.
We know what it would be, I think, if we got to that point. But even still, like I think that, we saw Wanye play, and they were able to win games, and Patrick Mahomes was able to elevate them. And now, is this team capable of it? I obviously, that's a story maybe that's a conversation maybe for another time when we know it actually would be Wanye in there. But if it's Jalen Moore, then we know that he can be serviceable enough to get the job done, I think is more of what it would be, at least from my side of things.
No, you're right about that.
It doesn't mean that they have no chance, but it's not as good as Josh Simmons, obviously, no question. And I know, yes, Josh Simmons did not have that great of a game yesterday, but we know who the best left tackle is on the team, and when he's out with a dislocated wrist, fractured wrist, out indefinitely, you're going to be struggling.
From the 660. But the defense only gives up blank points, but the other team is paid to play too. But nothing. This team is literally a 500, no playoff going team. We all knew this weeks ago. It was just a matter of who wanted to actually accept it. There needs to be a garage sale at Arrowhead this offseason. Players and several coaches. Woo!
There are a lot of players who technically have to be reworked with their deals, ironically enough. There's a lot of players, I think, on that list. I think I saw somebody posted a couple weeks ago. There's a lot of players that they got to work things out with, but...
From the 816, they can't score in the second or third quarter. It doesn't matter who's at left tackle. Yeah, I don't disagree.
That's a fair point.
No, I don't disagree.
Somebody mentioned the middle 8 and how they're so bad. And you and I talked briefly.
The middle 8?
A lot, like the middle 8 minutes, like the last four, first
yes.
4. The
double dip is non-existent.
The lack thereof of a double dip, yes.
It's non-existent. And again, yesterday, a 3-and-out coming out of the first. It's every stinking week, man, with this football team.
You can't steal a possession early on in the game, and they did, in fairness, they executed and they scored a touchdown off of it. But they stole a possession, and they still were down at halftime. And then they obviously
14-17 with stealing a possession.
And they obviously came out and they weren't able to put points on the board. It's like the little things that the Chiefs were always used to them being good at, they're not as good at anymore, at least this season. We're used to them not making the mistakes. We're used to them always taking advantage. And it feels like we just don't get that. And I don't know if that's on both sides of the ball, but it feels like at times it's both sides of the ball where there's just a little bit of inconsistency enough where the things that happen in close games, you got to be better at the little things. If it's going to be close games and one-score games that we've seen them be so good at, they haven't been as good in the little things, and as a result, they're 1-5 now in one-score games?
In one-score games. And again, that stat, not deceiving, I won't say, but I think yesterday a little deceiving as if, like, you were down 2 scores the majority of that game.
They were down 31-21 with, what, 6 minutes left or 5 minutes left?
You put yourself in what needed to be a miracle if you ever wanted to win. You put yourself in an almost impossible situation to come back and win the game. And so, yeah, 1 score, all this, we're so close, got to clean it up. I saw that from a text from the 402. If I hear clean up one more time from Andy Reid, I'm going to explode. And you're right. Listen, we're headed into week 13, week 14. Yep. Nobody cleaning it up.
On Monday, I bet you hear it.
Of course,
on Monday,
you'll hear it.
On Monday, you'll hear it.
Just got some things to clean up. Yeah, no, listen, man. That's all finished. That's all done. You had the bye week. Everyone's been back healthy, and I know you're dealing with injuries all the time, but there's no more cleaning it up. And this is a team that's been together and been on a dynasty run. They've solved a lot of those issues. They should have already had this discipline here. I get a game here or there. Hey, listen, we've got to kind of strap it in, tighten things up again. I understand that. The Jaguars game early on, it's week 5. It's a Jaguars team that's sneaky. I get you're going through a lot of different woes. Xavier Worthy's come back, Rasheed Rice isn't there. Like, there's things that you can point to. Offensive line is younger, doesn't have the chemistry. Like, I get that. It's been 2 months. Plus, everyone's back.
Yep.
There's no more of this. The excuses have to end, and the time is ticking for Kansas City, just like it is for me to take this break. Listen, we've got one word on the other side, and then we're going to take your calls before we're joined by Sean Smith later on in the show at 9 o'clock. Drew Nixon and myself, Mac Morey, live with you until 11 a.m. here on Black Friday football coverage live on 96.5 The Fan, your home for the Kansas City Chiefs.
You're listening to Black Friday football coverage with Mac Maury and Drew Nixon on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5, The Fan.
Get ready, Missouri. FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook, is coming soon. Starting on December 1st, new customers in Missouri can get up to $300 in bonus bets when you make your first $5 bet. From touchdowns to three-pointers, with FanDuel, any play can be the play of the game. With live betting, you can even get in on the action after the game has already started. All on an app that's safe, secure, and easy to use. Visit FanDuel.com/Missouri to learn more. And you'll be all set to bet when FanDuel goes live in Missouri on December 1st. That's FanDuel.com/Missouri. Play your game of FanDuel, the #1 rated sportsbook app. Must be 21 and present in Missouri. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Offer starts 12/1/25. Excludes customers who redeem pre-launch sign-up offer. Bonus issue is non-withdrawable bonus bets which expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit fanduel.com/RG.
Thanks for calling the Holiday Gift Line from the Missouri Lottery. If you still have presents to buy, don't panic. Missouri Lottery holiday scratchers and draw games are perfect for everyone on your list 18 and over. And you don't even need a gift receipt. Happy holiday gifting from the Missouri Lottery. Play responsibly.
It's a Red Friday on 96.5 The Fan and the other place, especially with these amazing game day specials. 14-inch two-topping pizzas for just $12 and $4 domestic OP cups. The other place with 5 great Kansas City Metro locations.
Hey, it's Alex Gold, and I hope you're having a great start to the holiday season. How about making it even better? Well, Shawnee Mission Ford's going to do that for you because they're introducing the Blue Event starting on Black Friday, going through Cyber Monday, offering an additional $500 to you with any vehicle purchase, and you're still going to get the giant discounts. Top trade-in values and 0% on most new vehicles. Then just decide how you want to use the $500. That's their way of saying thank you and happy holidays from Shawnee Mission Ford. On a mission to do more.
Makita's built for the pros who show up early, who don't do shortcuts, only precise cuts. With tools built to last, job after job, year after year. Performance that pays off, because when the job calls for the best, you answer. And when you need the best, you call on Makita. Built to be the best. Available at the Home Depot.
At Straight Talk, we know the holidays are your time to say
yes.
So why put up with a wireless company that makes you say
out of data?
Or
no service here?
Switch to Straight Talk and say yes to real unlimited data on a reliable 5G network covered by Verizon. And with a free 5G phone when you activate select plans, someone else in your family can say yes! Available at straighttalk.com and Walmart. Based on RootMetrics State of 5G Report, United States 1H 2025. Experiences may vary. Not an endorsement of Verizon. For network management practices, visit straighttalk.com.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. Ever wonder why Big Wireless wants you on unlimited plan? They probably want you to cover the cost of those 20-somethings using all that data every month. But most people 50 and up like me only use 12 gigs or less. Don't get bamboozled by Big Wireless. Switch to Consumer Cellular. Our plans start at just $20, and we use the same towers as the big guys. Join the millions who choose something better, because if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com/facts. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Charlie's battery is struggling to start. Not ideal before the tailgate, so he goes to AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone,
where a friendly AutoZoner tests his battery for free. Looks like he needs a new one, so he gets a Duralast battery.
have fun and stay warm.
And he makes it to the tailgate early enough to get his favorite spot. Free battery testing and charging. No hassles, just help.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
You know, there's millions of people without the health insurance they need. I get it. You feel like it's too pricey, a headache to deal with. You deserve something better. And better health. We're on a mission to get everyone high-quality, affordable health insurance. You have health insurance needs. We have plans with low out-of-pocket premiums, with in-network preventive care at no cost to you, and a network of local doctors and hospitals. So if you're still shopping for health insurance, go to ambetterhealth.com/enroll to get your free, no-obligation quote. That's ambetterhealth.com/enroll. For coverage to start January 1st, you must enroll by December 15th. Find the plan that's right for you right now. ambetterhealth.com/enroll. Ambetter Health, on a mission for better. Ambetter Health is the brand name for health insurance products underwritten by subsidiaries of Centene Corporation. Go to AmbetterHealth.com to see offerings in your state. This is a solicitation for insurance.
J. Rieger & Co. Oh, so good. Quality crafted in Kansas City. J. Rieger & Co. Straight Bourbon Whiskey. Winner of Best Craft Bourbon at the 2025 Ascot Awards. At 90 proof, it's rich, well-balanced, and oh, so good. Quality crafted in Kansas City.
One word.
First name is Blake, and he goes on a cruise. He goes on a Caribbean cruise.
Katie Holmes.
No.
Are you listening?
What's your least favorite thing about working with yourself?
Body odor. You get one word.
On the count of three, name your favorite dinosaur. 1, 2, 3. Velociraptor.
This is one word on Fesco and Dusty.
1, 2, 3.
Oatmeal raisin.
Oh, yeah, baby.
Let's go.
Woo! Black Friday football coverage live here on 96.5 The Fan, your home for the Kansas City Chiefs. Doing a little one word, taking a little bit from my boys Fesco and Dusty. We usually do it at 7:30. We're going to do it here today at 8:30. We are live until 11 a.m. Drew and I are. So I'll start for us. One word. Yesterday, Drew, on the Chiefs-Cowboys game.
Ugh.
Ugh. Yeah, absolutely.
UGH, exclamation point, I guess. Is, yeah.
I'll say Wimpy. Wimpy. KC decided to punt. This comes from Surrender Index. Kansas City decided to punt to Dallas from the Dallas 44 on 4th and 4 with 7 minutes remaining in the third quarter. They were down 14-17. That has a surrender index of 20.49. So this punt ranks, I'll let you know what that means. This punt ranks at the 98th percentile of cowardly punts of this season and the 96th percentile of all punts since 1999, since almost I've been on this earth, a little after, but still, wow.
Jeez.
Andy, you're going back to your old ways. Wimpy.
By wimpy, do you mean like you're going to flex, but instead of it going up, it's
down.
It's going
it's
down?
Negative flex. Yeah, 100%. How about more positive here? Hey, listen. Andy did say it. Not that I wanted to hear it from him yesterday, but it was cool. You know, you see all these people watching football, and that's what really matters, family, all that stuff. And it's great. I do agree with him. Don't necessarily want to hear it from him right now.
No.
But you're right. I agree. That's what matters, and I didn't let it ruin my day by any means. Had a fantastic day and multiple meals with my family at my mother's house, and it was great. And I can't wait to eat the leftovers all day today and watch more football. But one word on your Thanksgiving, Drew.
Banging. It was banging. Food was good.
Good meal? Yeah.
The game of the day was great.
Hey, your game of the day was awesome.
At 7 p.m. It was wonderful.
It
was banging.
Good. Favorite dish? Yesterday?
Corn pudding.
Corn pudding. Okay.
2 thumbs up.
Gotcha.
Okay. It's the best dish.
I will go. Yeah, I'll do. Family, values. I'll second Andy here. I was
gonna say, are you pulling an Andy right now?
I'm pulling an Andy. That's what really matters, right? It doesn't matter about the football. Come on, guys. Who cares about football? It's okay for me to say that, not for you, Andy. One word on.
Hold up.
I'm just kidding.
Favorite dish, because you asked me.
Okay, favorite dish.
Yesterday.
Man, yesterday everything was kicking, man. It was so good, man. My fiance Hannah kills it on the sweet potatoes. She's so good with that. And the mashed potatoes are great. I love the stuffing. I'm just going to name everything. It was all great. But I'll go, that sweet potatoes, so good. How about one word? I'll give you a moment. And text line, let him have, he had his win yesterday. The Bengals won. Joe Burrow's back. Let him have a moment. One word on the Bengals yesterday with Joe Burrow.
Oh, it was satisfying.
Yeah,
satisfying. I tweeted it out after the game. No matter how the rest of the season goes, if they honestly could lose the rest of the game. It was so satisfying to see a full team quality win, 5 turnovers forced by a defense that ranked dead last in about every category. It was so satisfying. It was great.
Yeah, I'll say fun. It was fun seeing Joe Burrow back. He looked great in the second half. Looked good in the first. He was a little obviously rusty, getting slow in the first. I mean, that's
definitely
fair.
rusty.
It takes a second. That you'd expect that.
He was getting a little emotional in the post game too, a little bit. Yeah.
You can tell, like, he loves it. He's a weirdo. He's kind of a geek. It is funny. Like, he's like this, all the girls like, oh my gosh, Joe Burrow. And it's like, he's kind of a nerd. He's kind of a geek, a little awkward, but I love that about him, and it was good seeing him back. It's important for the league to have Joe Burrow playing, so it was good to see him back. One word, a lot of college football today, and we will get to it because we've got college football expert, host of 247 Miles of College Football right here. One word on college football this Black Friday.
For today, incredible. The slate is incredible. Utah, of course, playing Kansas. The Jayhawks trying to make it to a bowl game. Get Georgia Tech. The battle for the Old Oaken Bucket back in the homeland of Indiana between IU and Purdue. Texas A&M and Texas. Arizona and Arizona State. I mean, plus more games as well. It's epic. Incredible.
Yeah, I think epic's the right one. I'll take that. Epic is it because it is nice having this is the rare you get the Egg Bowl, of course. Yeah, my fiance Hannah's going to be locked in, potentially last game for Lane Kiffin. And I want to let you guys know, because we're almost done here with one word, but I want to let you guys know we are going to take some calls here. So 913-586-7965 for the next 10 or 15 minutes. We are going to listen to you guys vent. I want to hear what you think the issues are. Are we done? Is it over? All those sorts of things. Who are you blaming for this season? I want to hear your thoughts. 913-586-7965 is the number to be a part of the show. So make sure you call in and hit up the phone lines. But that is actually interesting. One word on, let's just talk Lane Kiffin for a second here in one word, Drew, because this could be his last game. You mentioned the Egg Bowl, 11 a.m., Ole Miss versus Mississippi State. One word on, let's just say, because LSU feels like a foregone conclusion, one word on Lane Kiffin to LSU, if that were to happen.
Questionable.
Okay.
And the reason I say that, it's not because it's a bad decision, but I do feel like it's one of those things where he follows the trajectory of his career in a way. I think his credibility takes a little bit of a hit. Joe Clyde had made that reference. I think he does. It takes it 1-1 as well. And in some ways, it's not the job itself necessarily. It's the situation. It feels like it might be, is it actually that much better of a spot to be than where you're at currently in Ole Miss?
Exactly. The grass ain't always greener.
That's where we're at in college football right now.
Yeah, the grass ain't always greener. One word, man. Nikola Jokic spoke over the weekend about what he's thankful for, and man, it was just so fantastic. You love seeing Nikola Jokic in his element, because his element isn't always basketball. It's actually horses and having some sass. So this is Nikola Jokic discussing what he's thankful for.
And with Thanksgiving right around the corner, what are a couple of things you're just thankful for? What I'm thankful for? Yes, sir. Oh my God.
Dude, there are so many aspects of him. He hates everything that has to do with basketball outside of the basketball itself.
Outside of
and then
playing.
he just wants to go and hang out with his family or watch his horses run in races. Like he's a fascinating human being.
What I'm thankful for? Yes, sir. Oh my God.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Relatable. That would be relatable for Nikola Jokic, because everyone gets that question and goes, what am I going to say? I've got 3 things and probably all of them are wrong answers. Just go with your mom, go with your spouse, your family. Just go with a basic one. It's okay.
My family. Yeah.
My family. Or you can just
no more of that.
Or you can just be Jokic, right?
Oh my God.
Oh my God. I hate this question. I want to take calls from you guys, seriously. So make sure to call in and talk to us. 913-586-7965. I want to hear what your guys' thoughts are as far as this Chiefs loss is concerned. Are you hitting the panic button? Not just for this year, but this dynasty. Like, where are you at in terms of your panic, in terms of your stress, in terms of your sadness, your anger, all those things? I want to hear your emotions. 913-586-7965. We've got Jake and Gladstone on the line. Jake, what's going on? Oh, I don't know how to do it on my side. Sorry, Drew.
Now we're good.
I just want to say that I'm thankful for the past years that we've gotten with the Chiefs. We've all been pretty privileged. So for everyone freaking out because we're having what we can just say it's a down season, they need to open their eyes and realize what we've had. That being said, though, I think it was really disappointing to see just Andy Reid revert back to not running under center, not doing what was working. I think we could probably write it up as if we don't have Simmons out there and Wanye Morris is going to be our guy, we have problems. And I don't think that we're going to make a deep run in the playoffs without anybody who can block for Pat. He gets happy feet, and then those middle 8 minutes, you know, we got to be more successful there because the championship teams are.
Jake, I appreciate the call, brother. I really do. That's right. I mean, I think he said it at the first part of the call is like, hey, we should be thankful for what has happened in these past few years and remember that. Because one off season or one bad season, rather, shouldn't get rid of that. It shouldn't tarnish the last 8 years. Because eventually you are going to have a slip up. You're going to have a mess up. Now, how do you respond to this would be the bigger question in my mind. Is it going to happen? Of course. You're going to have a slip up. You're going to have a mess up. You're going to have maybe a couple bad signings, a couple bad decisions that could screw you up for a year or two. The Patriots went 10 years without winning, right? But how do you respond from that slip up is going to be my big question for this team. Here we go. Brett from Lee Summit. What do you got? Brett? Let's go back. Let's see. Hold. Let's see. Do I do? There we go. Brett, now you're on. Brett, now you're on. What do you got?
So, I think the season is over. I don't think we're making the playoffs.
Okay.
We can't get pressure with 4.
Yep. Is that your biggest problem with this team, Brett?
I think the biggest problem with this team is we just keep hearing how they're better than last year's team, and we're not better than last year's team. Last year's team could win in close games. Last year's team could bring it together. I mean, we have multiple problems on this team. D-line, O-line, injuries hurt that, but that's part of football. You got to overcome it. You got to overcome the injuries and adversity. We can't execute in certain spots.
So season's over. We're now headed in the off season. Give me your biggest priority.
D-line.
Yeah. Finding that pressure with 4.
Getting pressure with 4. When we have to send blitzes and leave our corners on an island, flags are going to come. I mean, I don't blame the refs. Some of those some of those penalties last night, were they ticky-tacky? Yeah, but if you can't get pressure with 4, you're going to leave your corners on an island sending blitzes, and good quarterbacks are going to eat that up.
Yeah, at some point, and Brett, thanks for the call. I really appreciate it. At some point, I mean, I think you become stagnant. You become repetitive. You become who you are too much, right? I mean, it feels like they've just gotten stuck in their ways.
Totally.
Like he's saying it right there. Like you just kind of know what's coming up next. Other coaches are feeding off of it, and we're now seeing it every Sunday where, hey, you're asking for Mahomes to pull out the magic pixie dust every week. You've got to do the groundwork, man. Some of these teams you should be able to beat handily, and I'm not saying the Cowboys are one of them. Again, I think the Cowboys are the best offense you'll play the rest of the season. Damian and KCK, what's going on, brother?
Hey, what's going on, you guys? Appreciate you taking my call. I listen to you guys every day. Thank you.
Thanks for listening.
Just wanted to say that I was really disappointed kind of in the cornerbacks. I know it wasn't all on them. Jalen Watson kind of made me mad for about 5 plays in a row there. He was getting burned real bad. The offensive line, I think they'll be okay next year. I'm not sure about the rest of this year. That's all I wanted to say, and thanks for the call.
Hey, man, I really, really appreciate you calling in. Thank you so much. I mean, the O-line, listen, it's going to be an issue the rest of this season. Josh Simmons is probably going to hit the IR. Listen, that's just like, let's be matter of fact about it. He's got a fractured wrist. He left the game yesterday and then went to the locker room, and after that, people see him leaving the locker room with a cast on his wrist, rather. So Josh Simmons is going to be out, and it's going to be tough. But, yeah, I appreciate the call. Let's go over to Travis from Liberty, 913-586-7965 if you do want to get in and be a caller onto the show here. Travis, what's going on?
Hey, what's up? My biggest issue is everybody keeps complaining about the run game, and the running backs, but if we don't run the ball, it doesn't matter.
So do you think that you're going to put that mostly on Andy for just not running the ball? But these last 2 games, I mean, even yesterday, I felt like he ran it more than he had in the past. Do you think like part of it is like maybe Andy's a little scarred from just the lack of talent in the running back room? Like, who do you really put the blame on? Is that Veach or Andy?
I think it's got to go on Andy, even though I hate to say it. I love Andy.
Of course. Rev, of course.
Yeah, he needs to go back to what we did last week. They did run the ball more this time, but it's kind of frustrating when you don't stick with it, I guess I should say.
No, I get what you're saying. It feels like an easy button problem. I do wish that they could have given him a little bit more talent back there. I tend to kind of lean. I get what you're saying, Travis. Sometimes I'll lean the other way as well, where I go, well, damn, maybe he would run the ball if they got a Breece Hall, or if they would have drafted a Judkins or someone, a Travion Henderson, name your guy in the draft that maybe could have been there. I do struggle with that way of thinking too, Travis. But, man, I appreciate the call. I agree they do need to run the ball more anyways. Mason and Gladstone. Mason, what's the biggest issue with this team? What's your biggest gripe? Where are you at? Is the season over?
Okay,
Where are you at?
So, can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you, brother.
Okay, so I understand that the Chiefs lost. It was done by their own accord, right? But you can't tell me that last drive that the Cowboys had, the 2 defensive pass interference calls were complete bogus, brother. Like, it was I hate to say homer because of who was reffing, but like it blows my mind. Like, it really does.
No, I get it, Mason. I appreciate the call. The officiating was bad yesterday.
Oh yeah, it was consistent, which I think
consistently bad. You're right.
I think part of the reason why people are also frustrated is it's not like it's been a couple weeks now in a row where it's been like this, and it's not necessarily one-sided against the Chiefs, but it's just a ref show. It's a, hey, look at us, we're wearing the stripes and we're just gonna call fouls, and it's been consistent here the last couple of games. I think people are just kind of over it. Where if you look at just the history, Andy's teams do technically commit more penalties more often than other teams do, but there are levels to it, and I think to Mason's point, the one that was on Trent McDuffie looked like it was just a no call.
Yes.
It looked like CeeDee Lamb it looked like CD, if anything, was shoving off as well, and, and Trent McDuffie might have pulled on his arm. It was a no call to me. I think part of it is, and to the texter's point from the 913, I get the ref issue, but as Bob says, you can't let it be a factor. It feels like they're
so true.
Amidst the penalty issues, amidst the questionable calls, none of them are the reason you lost the game ultimately.
No, they're not.
And I understand that that's part of just the deal. And penalties happen, and there's bad calls that happen. But ultimately, it's just a lack of execution where you go on those drives, and some of them penalty related, of course. But you have 5 punts in that game. Dallas only has one punt. You're just not going to win very many games when you're giving up extra possessions like that and you can't get a stop. And part of it is Trent McDuffie. Part of it is Jalen Watson, who both of them at times yesterday looked like barbecue chicken.
They were getting cooked.
Jalen Watson was having a hard go of it. Shamari Connor was struggling yesterday as well. I don't know if I want to see if they had anybody else. Maybe Jaden Hicks, but there's times where I watch the games play. The one play in particular, after Shamari got burned.
Oh, my God.
After he got burned, why he's guarding CeeDee Lamb? I don't know. Maybe it's because Trent McDuffie got he got put on the blitz, and CeeDee was like, "Oh yes, please." He was eating his Thanksgiving meal early.
Yeah,
he said yes.
Oh yeah. Past the stuffing.
But right after he got beat by CeeDee Lamb, there was a play where he came up and could have gotten a tackle for loss. And totally whipped, and it was a gain of 8 or 9 yards.
If you can't do that, then you need to be out of the game. Yeah. You can't be on the field. And you said, well, maybe they don't have anyone else, maybe Hicks. Like, they do. They have the best slot corner in the game. And, yes, I know he was absolutely horrendous yesterday. 22. He lost some money probably yesterday. But that wasn't his true position. He was playing an outside corner. He is a slot corner. They are playing him as an X corner. If you want to say that means he should not make as much money, I would agree with you. If that means he's not as valuable, I would agree with you. But he should be. You have Noah Williams. Yeah. You have Christian Fulton. He's a healthy scratch. You're paying him $10 million.
I don't.
Where is he?
And I don't understand.
Christian Woolen-Wallace hurt.
I don't understand because I think it was Cody that brought up the stat, or maybe it was Gold. I couldn't remember, but we looked at yardage of separation allowed. And Noah Williams was better than Trent McDuffie. He was in the hip pocket on a more consistent basis of the wide receiver than Trent McDuffie has been this season, and he can't get on the field, and it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't. Because when you see plays like what happened to Jalen Watson yesterday, when you see what happened to Jamari Conner, and I know that they kind of play different positions, but when you see the wide receivers cooking at a level like they were yesterday, and again, the Chiefs actually did a pretty good job. I thought Jake Ferguson was going to be unbelievably good. He didn't get targeted as much as he normally does.
No,
and it didn't matter.
It didn't matter. They found
the
what they wanted to
the
do.
Achilles heel of the Chiefs' defense, what it has been traditionally outside of just the pass rush, has been covering tight ends. And the tight ends haven't gotten the ball really each of the last 2 weeks. This one yesterday, though, they couldn't buy a stop. And last week against the Colts, if they got 5 stops in a row, if they only get 4 stops in a row instead of 5, they lose the game.
Yeah, exactly.
That was how bad things were last week as well as this week. It's the lack of a pass rush. And the strength of their defense, which is the secondary, was not good yesterday. And as a result, they just weren't good enough on defense. When they needed to get a stop, they couldn't do it.
Why is it new faces every week in the secondary? Why is it new people? Why can't we find a rhythm? Why is Christian Fulton a healthy scratch? Like what? And again, are we having miscommunications between the GMs and coaches? Because like if I'm Brett Veach, maybe I'm asking, okay, what can I trade him then? If we're not going to play Christian Fulton, we're going to pay him $10 million. Like, what are we doing? It just seems like there's so many miscommunications. I want to get it figured out. We've got Sean Smith, former Chiefs defensive lineman, the man, the myth, the legend. Sean Smith will be on with us, and maybe he can help us figure it out.
I love it when they call you Big Pop.
Excited to have him on. Coming up next, Sean Smith right here on your Black Friday football coverage live with Drew Nixon and myself, Mac Morey, right here until 11 a.m. on 96.5 The Fan. It's your home for the Kansas City Chiefs.
You're listening to Black Friday football coverage with Mac Morey and Drew Nixon on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
I'm Mitch Holtis, voice of the Kansas City Chiefs. Choosing the best doctor for your eyes is one of the most important medical decisions you'll ever make. Whether you're considering blade-free LASIK, all laser cataract surgery, and premium lens implants, or want a world-renowned doctor to help with your glaucoma, macular degeneration, dry eyes, or diabetes, trust my doctor, Dr. Steven Silverstein. Call Silverstein Eye Centers to make an appointment, 816-358-3600. Experience the best eye care in Kansas City.
At Casey's, when someone asked for a cup of coffee that wouldn't put them in debt, but still had freshly ground beans, rich flavor, and a price that starts with a 9 and ends with a D9 cents, we were too nice to say no. Any size darn good coffee, just 99 cents with Casey's Rewards. Limited time only. See store for details.
Numerous brands to choose from. Endless options. One incredible experience. At Aristocrat Motors, we treat every driver like royalty and offer the finest luxury vehicle experience in Kansas City. Come see us today and let us roll out the red carpet for you.
Hey, Zach. Are you smiling at my gorgeous canyon view?
No, Donald. I'm smiling because I've got something I want to tell the whole world.
Well, do it. Shout it out.
T-Mobile's got home internet.
Whoa, I love that echo. T-Mobile's got home internet.
How much is it?
Look at that, Zach. We got the neighbors' attention.
Just $35 a month. And you love a great deal, Denise.
Plus, they've got a 5-year price guarantee. That's 5 whole trips around the sun.
I'm switching. Me too.
Yes, T-Mobile home internet for the neighborhood.
Donald, you still haven't returned my weed whacker.
Carl, don't you embarrass me like this, please.
What's everyone yelling about?
T-Mobile's got home internet.
And Donald's got my weed whacker.
Yes, T-Mobile's got home internet. Just $35 a month with auto pay and any voice line. And it's guaranteed for 5 years.
Beautiful yodeling, Carl.
Taxes and fees apply. See T-Mobile.com/ISP for details and exclusions.
This holiday season, give your family, clients, and coworkers the gift of Booth Creek Wagyu beef. Booth Creek Wagyu gift boxes provide the world's best steaks, burgers, hot dogs, jerky, sausages, and seasonings that are changing the way America eats beef. Choose from mouth-watering options like the classic sirloin box for less than $100, or go big with the amazing Grill Masters Reserve box. Order yours today at boothcreekwagyu.com or visit one of their 2 convenient locations at 95th and Knoll or 135th Street in Metcalf.
This is Gene at House of Diamonds. No paint-by-number custom jewelry, no bogus sales and financing offers, and absolutely no lab diamond ripoffs. Everything at House of Diamonds is real. House of Diamonds on the southeast corner of College and Quivira.
Nationwide is so much more than a great insurance company. They're one of America's largest financial services companies. Like how I'm more than just Peyton Manning. I'm also motivating Manning. When I say insurance, you say financial services. Insurance.
Financial services.
Insurance.
Financial services.
Now when I say Nationwide, you say is both. Nationwide.
Is both.
Nationwide.
Is both.
For your insurance and financial needs, Nationwide is on your side.
Nationwide Investment Services Corporation, member FINRA, Columbus, Ohio.
It's a classic odor tale. You fried fish for dinner, cleaned up, but the smell is still in the house. And the neighbors are coming over for game night. They're on their way. And then you spray Febreze Air Mist. Febreze Air starts working instantly to fight even your toughest odors, so you go from fish to fresh like that. Now all you have to worry about is Pam cheating at charades.
Breathe happy, Febreze, la 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 la.
Car wreck? Get the money you deserve. Mike's got this.
Paid for in client portrayal and endorsement. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Give me one good reason why I should call DM Law.
How about 3 great reasons? 1, it's easy. 2, it's fast. 3, the results.
Mike's got this.
816-888-7500.
Mike's got this.
Hey, it's Rashi Rice. The Chiefs Radio Network pregame show starts 3 hours before kickoff, right here on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
KFNC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2, Kansas City, an Odyssey Sports Station.
Here we go, 96.5 The Fan, Black Friday football coverage live with you until 11 a.m. Mac Morey and Drew Nixon, now joined by former Chiefs defensive lineman Sean Smith. Sean, what's going on, brother? How are you, man?
I'm still recovering, man.
Yeah, no, I get that, dude. Well,
Still recovering.
let's get to the sad stuff. First off, thanks for joining in, brother. I appreciate that. Even without Fesco and Dusty here, I appreciate you making some time. Let's get to the sad, and our woes later. How was your Thanksgiving good? You enjoy it?
Yeah, it was cool.
Good meal?
Yeah, I can't complain about that. How about you guys?
It was great. No, it was great, brother. It was awesome. It was fantastic. Sweet potatoes rocked my world. Stuffing, turkey was great. You had a favorite dish?
No, not really. I didn't.
Okay, nice. Yeah, I went 2 plates. Have another 2 plates today. So no, I'm good. I'm eating my sorrows away. Dude, what happened yesterday? Because it just feels like we're seeing the same thing over and over again. What do you point that loss yesterday to?
I feel like they lost yesterday just because taking too long to get going. They started the game real early and did what they were supposed to do, but couldn't finish the game like they wanted to. Missed opportunities with Travis Kelce and Patrick Mahomes. He was trying to do too much instead of just letting the ball go. Defensively, I think we played solid. We just didn't capitalize on the turnovers when we got the turnovers, that fumble.
Yeah, was that I want to watch like the all 22 of that or whatever because I haven't seen any other clips. But that to me, watching that live, I was like, why aren't we on that first? Why isn't the Chiefs defense running to that ball? What did you see? Was that just luck? Was that just bad luck?
I'll say bad luck a little bit, but also Tranquil was there, but he didn't reach out for the ball. I don't know. He was like in slow motion. That was like the turning point right there. That could have been the momentum that we needed, and we didn't get it.
Yeah, dude.
Just don't know.
You mentioned Mahomes, and obviously he's always one of the biggest talking points, but Andy Reid, him, the offense, the lulls, multiple straight 3 announced yesterday, 5 punts to Dallas's 1. It just feels like so consistently they lose rhythm. Just talk about the last 3 weeks. Like, how would you grade Mahomes recently?
I'm a great. Mahomes just tried to do too much, man. I said that before on the show. I continue to say that he's a great quarterback. He helped us get the Super Bowls we got. It's just come a point in time where you just can't always try to put the team on your shoulders and try to make everything work when you got 10 other guys out there on the field with you and you're trying to do your job. He's just, I don't know, and I can't say the play calling was bad. I mean, Kelce dropped balls, Rice dropped balls. Still was in the game, but we didn't make that special teams play. We didn't do nothing drastic to separate ourselves. You know what I mean? Ran the ball pretty decent. Probably should have stuck with it a little longer.
Yeah.
But they didn't.
Sean, it feels like this is something that we've talked about really the last 2 weeks or 3 weeks, where is this thing salvageable? Can they find a way to just make it to the playoffs? Right? It seems like they have to win out now to give themselves the best chance. Do you think that, based on what you've seen here, particularly these last couple weeks, that this team is capable of doing that?
Yeah, I mean, it showed times and it showed spurts when we could be that team to win and blow teams out. And we just, it's what, 6 games left?
Yeah.
We got to win out. It's not even, I can't sugarcoat it. I can't even sit here and tell you like, yeah, man, I got the magical answer right now. It's just, you're on a week-to-week basis. And you pray that the other teams in the division lose and balance back up. But, you know, the loss that's going to come back to haunt us is that Jacksonville game.
Oh, my gosh.
Mm-hmm.
I hate talking about that, but, you know what I mean? But that's the game. And, you know, the difference from this year and last year's team is the Denver Broncos are us this year.
Mm.
You know, when we was in all those close games and we were down by 1, you know what I mean, close games, and we won it all. This year, we haven't won one close game like that.
Some of it feels like luck with close games, obviously, but also it's just execution down the stretch. And it feels like it's just something with this team that's a little bit different, where it is a drop pass, as you said. It's a blitz that doesn't quite get home, and it's a big play. It's a penalty. It feels like there's been a little bit of luck involved or bad luck involved, rather, with everything, but also it's just things aren't quite clicking the same way that they did, even though the personnel is all relatively similar to that of what the Chiefs had last season.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, I just understand the personnel. I mean, I wouldn't just say it's the personnel. I mean, we got some still majority of the roster back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Same roster. It's just, we're not capitalizing. And like you said, you see yesterday, even Chris Jones on that touchdown run, he thought it was a pass, made a great move, but if he stayed inside, it wouldn't have been.
Yeah.
Williams wouldn't have got that run. It's kind of like the Jacksonville situation a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, and the front four has been an issue all season. It's been an issue for the last couple of years. It feels like consistently they can't get to the quarterback with 4, Sean, and I know that's your position, that's your bread and butter. Like, I know you watch other teams play, and I know you watch them get to the quarterback. You mentioned the personnel being the same. Like, is it an archetype thing? Like, I know Spags likes that bigger, thicker, taller defensive end. Do we need like a bend, get around the corner, fast edge rusher? Do we need to change our archetype of player that we're bringing into the building? Like, why can't they get to the QB?
I mean, yeah, 56. You know, they paid him and he hasn't done nothing. I just don't understand that. You know what I mean? You paid the kid and the kid was not producing. I don't know. I just feel like right now I'm not going to say we're in a rebuild stage, but it's about to get ready to get close to that. You know what I mean? And I wouldn't be surprised in the offseason if they did get rid of Chris Jones. Try to scrap this whole thing. We don't make the playoffs. I think they're going to scrap everything.
Chris Jones and what else?
Defensive side.
On the defensive side? Okay, would you get rid of McDuffie?
Yeah, offensive side, you're still going to have the same guys. I mean, the receivers can't do that with that speed. If anything, you know, 87 is probably going to retire. You got to find another, draft a tight end. But I don't know. I'm still optimistic. There's 6 games left, and we'll see what happens with the 6 games and see what they do. But, you know, I don't know.
Yeah, that's where
we can still just, because I know if we get in the playoffs, we're scary.
That's my thing too. If you can get to the dance, they can beat anyone, and they have that experience. Then they have that veteran just metal to them. So I do agree with that. But man, it's going to be tough to get there. The other optimistic point of view that you could point out, Sean, is like that Cowboys offense. They are good. Like that's a talented offense that they played yesterday. It's probably the most talented offense they'll play in the regular season for the rest of the season. So that is that positive note that you could point to. But man,
it's positive. But if you go back and look at the film, I don't know what our corners was doing. We let Pickens beat us every time inside on the slant. I'm not even a DB, and I know take the inside, take the slant away from him, and use the sideline as your help. I know that.
Yeah. So are you?
I don't know what Watson was. I don't know where he was at yesterday.
Watson, I mean, McDuffie, Chamari Connor, all these guys getting cooked. I mean, you mentioned reset, Sean. Are you looking at 22? Are you looking at McDuffie possibly?
Yeah, but I never been a strong candidate for McDuffie. He's just been a guy that's been around and he made plays, but there's times he sucked.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
I hate to say it like that. I mean, he was getting burned. He was getting cooked. So with him being cooked like that, I mean, we got to find something. Even Cook, our safety, he got to do better. It was like bad angles, missed tackles, stuff that we normally wouldn't do.
So I guess final question before we get you out of here, Sean. And again, I appreciate you giving us some time here, brother. You gotta blame one guy after this. Chiefs don't make the playoffs. 6 games left. They don't end up doing it. They come up short. You've got to point to one finger to one guy. What's your blame game?
I'm blaming 15.
Okay.
15's the face of the organization, so he has to take everything under the chin no matter what. Love him to death. You know, if it's 13 seconds on the clock, I know he can still make something happen in the game and do certain things. But that's the thing about being the face of an organization. When you win and ride the highs and lows, you're the face. You know, and then when you're taking sacks like that, when you just give it to the ball because you're looking for the home run every time, just take the check down. Just take the check down.
I mean, dude, he had that one. Yeah, he had that one where he just stood there. He was just standing there. Throw it, go, do something. Yeah, it felt like his internal clock.
Not even just throw it, run. You see, late in the fourth quarter, then he wants to run. I'm like, bro, you should have been doing that like you did early in the game. Run.
100%. Yeah, face of the franchise. It comes with the pros, comes with the cons as well. You've got a lot of the weight on your shoulders. Sean, we appreciate you, brother. Thanks for coming on, and go get a sativa and enjoy the rest of the day here.
All right, man. You guys too, man. Have a great one.
All right, brother. Yeah, thank you, dude. That's Sean Smith, former Chiefs defensive lineman, who come on and join us. Man, he points to 15 at the end there.
Look, do you blame him? Like, I think I look more at Andy Reid at this point of the season. I think I look more at Andy Reid.
Me too.
But
me too.
I mean,
I get where he's coming from.
But I think it's hard to fault him though, because there's moments in the game where you're not that you're asking yourselves what is Patrick Mahomes doing actually, but there are some plays where it's like, man, the throws are just not on the deep ball. He's not even giving an opportunity for there to be pass interference almost. Like it feels like there's not enough air on the ball.
Yep.
At times he's trying to missile it in, and there's also times where he's just missing guys, and I don't know.
Missing like he's throwing. I mentioned yesterday, I was like, you throwing to Wembanyama? Like, what's going on?
I don't know if it's he thinks the pocket is collapsing on him early, but it's not. But Tony Romo has mentioned, I think the past couple, because they've had 4 games in a row now, I think it's been the last 2 or 3 games where Tony Romo has been like, Pat needs to stay in the pocket. The pocket's fine. Like he doesn't need to move. He's fine where he's at. I think he thinks that the pocket's collapsing, and maybe that's a lack of trust in the offensive line or whatever it is. But it feels like something's off with Pat. Like he's not, and I think it's hard to explain because like he'll put up the numbers. Like his numbers looked okay yesterday. His numbers looked all right, but it doesn't feel like the same Patrick Mahomes who could hang 50 on your defense or 40 on your defense and just rip your heart out. Like it doesn't, there's still, it's still in there somewhere, but it doesn't feel like it's something you have to really, really worry about 100% of the time, I guess, if that makes sense, which sounds kind of crazy saying, but I think
the truth.
But based on what we've seen, I don't think you can say anything different than that.
No, it's one play, it's the best thing you've ever seen, and the next he's not doing the fundamentals, he's not doing the basics, the 1, 2, 3 hitch, throw, look off, hit the guy coming out of your route with the timing. There are multiple things that just seem a little bit off, and again, I point a lot of those reasons why that stuff, the why, to Big Red. That comes back all to Big Red. Not all of it, but a lot of it. Like sometimes, like right, you have to hit the deep ball. If it's open, it's open. Like that's on you. Rashee Rice, that touchdown in the corner last week, off an out route against the Colts, like you have to hit that ball. It has to happen. And there's trust issues there too with both the offensive line, the weapons. I think could probably be mentioned, but I think more than anything, I think it is Andy Reid, the stagnant scheme and the predictable play calling at this point. We talked a lot of offense. We talked to Sean Smith. He mentioned some of the defensive woes that have happened as well, and some of the changes that he thinks maybe they should go under. He mentioned Chris Jones. He mentioned 22.
Yeah.
This could be a big reset. He mentioned rebuild was the word he used as well. Lots of changes in Kansas City could be coming, but not for the next hour and 45 minutes. It is Drew Nixon. It is Mac Morey live with you. Black Friday football coverage right here on 96.5 The Fan, your home for the Kansas City Chiefs.
You're listening to Black Friday football coverage with Mac Morey and Drew Nixon on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
Get ready, Missouri. FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook, is coming soon. Starting on December 1st, new customers in Missouri can get up to $300 in bonus bets when you make your first $5 bet. From touchdowns to three-pointers, with FanDuel, any play can be the play of the game. With live betting, you can even get in on the action after the game has already started. All on an app that's safe, secure, and easy to use. Visit FanDuel.com/Missouri to learn more. And you'll be all set to bet when FanDuel goes live in Missouri on December 1st. That's FanDuel.com/Missouri. Play your game of FanDuel, the #1 rated sportsbook app. Must be 21 and present in Missouri. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Offer starts 12/1/25. Excludes customers who redeem pre-launch sign-up offer. Bonus issue is non-withdrawable bonus bets which expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit fanduel.com/RG.
Arvest Bank believes in the power of serving others. That's why we're committed to supporting those who serve our communities. We believe that all communities deserve a financial partner who cares. Arvest. We believe.
Oh, hey, welcome to gift wrapping. Whoa, Zoe Saldana.
Hey, can you wrap these, please?
Wow, iPhone 17s. You splurged.
At T-Mobile, you can get 4 iPhone 17s on them. The new center stage front camera is amazing for group selfies. It's the perfect gift for everyone.
I'm the worst. I only got my mom a robe.
Well, it's better than socks.
So I have to trade in my old phone, right?
No, at T-Mobile, there's no trade-ins needed when you switch. Keep your old phone or give it as a gift.
Incredible.
In fact, wrap up my old phone, too. For my Aunt Rosa. Forget that. Aunt Liz will be jealous.
Sounds like my family. Drama.
Oh, I got it. I'll give it to my abuela. I'll take reindeer paper with, hey, where are you going?
To T-Mobile! The holidays are better at T-Mobile. Get 4 iPhone 17s on us. No trade-in needed when you switch. Plus 4 lines for just $25 a line.
With 24 monthly bill credits and 4 eligible port-ins on essentials for well-qualified customers. Auto pay plus taxes, fees, and $35 device connection charge. Credits end in balance due if you pay off early or cancel. Contact us. Finance agreement 256 gigabytes, $830 required. Visit T-Mobile.com.
If you've been diagnosed with moderate to severe plaque psoriasis, this is what it sounds like to be 1,000,000 miles away. Imagine being 1,000,000 miles away. Tremfya guselkumab, taken by injection, is a prescription medicine for adults with moderate to severe plaque psoriasis who may benefit from taking injections or pills or phototherapy. With Tremfya, clearer skin is possible. In clinical trials, at least 70% of patients saw at least 90% clearer skin at 16 weeks. Results may vary. Tremfya is also indicated for adults with active psoriatic arthritis. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Ask your doctor about Tremfya. Call 1-800-526-7736 or visit Tremfya.com.
Hey, what's up, flies? This is David Spade.
Dana Carvey.
Look, I know we never actually left, but I'll just say it. We are back with another season of Fly on the Wall.
Every episode, including ones with guests, will now be on video. Every Thursday, you'll hear us and see us chatting with big-name celebrities.
And every Monday, you're stuck with just me and Dana. We react to news, what's trending, viral clips.
Follow and listen to Fly on the Wall everywhere you get your podcasts.
With the first pick in the McDonald's breakfast draft, I'm going with a tasty sausage, egg, and cheese McGriddle sandwich. Bold move, sweet, savory, totally stacked. But wait, that delicious sausage McMuffin with egg sandwich is still on the board. Lucky for me, McD lets you mix and match 2 for just $5. And right now, any size iced coffee is only $1.89. Breakfast at McDonald's. That's the real winning deal. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Prices and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal. Single item at regular price.
West Shore Home makes it easy to knock out your bathroom, window, door, or flooring project right now. If you've been putting off one of those projects, the team over at West Shore Home is the perfect fit for you. They've been in business for nearly 20 years, have helped hundreds of thousands of homeowners, and are ready to help you save big with their Black Friday sale. Free installation on all projects, plus lock in an extra $500 off when you schedule now at westshorehome.com/thefan. That's westshorehome.com/thefan. Don't miss out.
Today, expect cloudy skies with a slight chance of light rain and a high of 42.
Weather brought to you by Staples. Have an easy holiday at Staples. Save on top tech and gaming gifts, shipping supplies and services to get your packages there safely, even custom cards and wrapping paper. Staples. That was easy.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Back in on a Friday morning, Black Friday morning, 96.5 The Fan here on Black Friday football coverage. Drew Nixon with you, myself, Mac Morey with you live for the next hour and 40 minutes until 11 a.m. until we hand it off to Jay Binkley. Oh, and he's in the house.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, he's here.
I will tell you this. You have to wait for Bink as well. You have to listen to Bink as well. You have to listen. He is as fired up as I have ever seen him.
Oh, buddy. He is ready. He is ready.
He is prepped and ready to go. He probably doesn't even need any prep.
No.
He has no notes.
No, there's no doc.
He is going to give you 3 hours with JT of nothing but a very, very good part of radio that you don't want to miss. 3 hours of great radio.
It's gonna be good because he's a little heated today.
Don't think, just do. Piss me off.
Yeah, dude. No, he's ready.
That guy's an idiot, man.
He's going to.
That game last night really pissed me off, to be honest with you.
He's pissed. He's pissed
If he
today.
doesn't say that today, that exact line actually.
Yeah, no,
Then,
he is. He's gonna come in today. He's gonna start a show.
That game last night really pissed me off, to be honest with you.
And he's right. It pissed me off too.
Well, I don't think that.
Yeah, so we got Jay Binkley and JT live from 11 to 2, and then it is your guy, Carrington. No days off, Carrington, C-Dot, live from 2 to 5. I believe, and he'll have Nathan in, right?
Oh, is it Nathan?
I believe it'll. Maybe
I'm
not. Well, no, it's JT with J, but I think it's Nathan in with C-Dot.
Yes, I do believe so.
Yes, I do believe that is the case. Yes, JT with J.
Hey, well, yo, man.
All right, let's get to it.
We have an endless.
Oh, dude, we could keep going.
Hey, baby, how you doing?
No, it's
I
really.
literally pissed my pants and forgot who the hell I am for the last 3 days.
Boobs are great.
Okay. Okay. Hey, we needed a laugh today. Because, man, I'm pissed off because another day, another Chiefs loss, another game, and another multiple moments, multiple times where you could have taken it over. You start the game, and you mentioned it earlier, Drew. You get a possession given back to you. You get a short field.
Straight out of the gate.
Out of the gate. And you score. You take advantage. You're up 7-0. It's like you actually got the ball to start with.
What else?
And you're up 14-0, or you're up 14-7, and you don't score again for the rest of the half. You don't score again until late in the third quarter. You have 4 straight 3-and-outs. You have double-digit penalties. You have triple-digit yards in penalty yards. You have missed opportunity, drop, boring play calls, no pressure from the defensive line, barbecue chicken out in the secondary, random players playing, no rhythm as far as who's going to be in the game and when. Feels like we've got a coaching staff that just says, you know what, screw all these players on the sideline. I like these few guys, and I'm going to play them. No Noah Williams, no Christian Fulton. Jaden Hicks, he's going to be in coverage. Shamari Connor, do you remember how good he's been all season? We'll get ready for more of it. All these things that we keep watching don't change. And so I am... Today, I'm here pissed off, just like you'll hear Jay Binkley pissed off for the next few hours, because there should be answers here, Drew. This shouldn't keep happening.
Yeah,
6 times.
Well, and I think that's where, going back to what Sean Smith said, I know you teased it to talk about the defense in particular, because I think there's aspects where you look at who is next technically to be paid in this little I guess, tier, if you will. Like, who is up next?
Who's next in line?
It is Trent McDuffie. He's the guy. And technically,
Not after
Chris
yesterday.
Jones Chris Jones is next in line from the standpoint of just getting an extension or figuring out the $40 million cap hit that he's supposed to have next year. I don't think the Chiefs want to pay that. Do you want to figure it out? I do think what Sean Smith, what he brought up, though, is interesting. Not necessarily to Trent McDuffie's standpoint, because I think there's an aspect of Trent McDuffie's game where I think some of him not being brought up is actually part of the reason why he's so good, just because teams kind of avoid throwing to him. Not in the sense of he's Darrelle Revis or but I think that to an extent, teams do kind of stay away from throwing his way because he traditionally has been very good against number one wide receivers. Every now and then you find players traditionally with size like Courtland Sutton or CeeDee Lamb, bigger guy, or George Pickens, bigger guy, or A.J. Brown. Like there's a few that can cause problems for Trent McDuffie. He's up next to get paid. Moving on from him, we've actually brought it up on Cody and Gold before. What would you trade him for 2 first-round picks? And
in a heartbeat.
But this is the thing,
and I would have said that before yesterday, to be clear.
Yeah, but this is the thing, though, I think with it, and I think maybe it's a little bit more, it's not a good time to have this take, I guess. It was better then, maybe, but it's not a good time to have this because he's coming off of the bad game. But are you sure you can replace Trent McDuffie with those 2 picks? Are you sure that you can replace a top 5 level player at their position?
Yes.
Because I'm not sure where the picks are, but
he's done it.
Are we? And this is where I also kind of get to it. Are we sure that that Andy Reid and Brett Veach are going to draft the right players? Are we sure that we're going to see them play to start the season? I would assume so because they're first-round picks. But based on what we have seen, are we sure that they're going to play right away? And you're going to get that production immediately? I would think yes, but to think that you can just get a player like Trent McDuffie right away, I would be a little hesitant to trade him for that, where I think Sauce Gardner, I think the same thing kind of with the Jets, where, they've loaded up on these picks, but are you sure that the Jets are going to get a player capable of being a top 2, top 3 corner, a top 3 player at their position?
No, it's the Jets.
So, and maybe that's where the line is kind of drawn in the sand here. I actually would be all for them moving on from Chris Jones because it allows you to spend more money in free agency.
They can't. Like Sean mentioned that, and that's great, all awesome.
So if they don't, let's say they let Chris Jones walk, or I guess they'd have to trade him. I
yes,
suppose.
They'd have to trade him.
So they theoretically speaking, which I know people love on this show. Whenever I hypothetically speak, I got called out on Wednesday for it. I don't know if you know that.
Okay.
Matt. I got called a kitten because of hypothetically speaking. We're gonna do it right now though. Hypothetically speaking, the Chiefs would have to rework his deal, correct, and then trade him because nobody's gonna trade for Chris Jones and pay him $40 million.
No, of course
that's
not.
the way it would have to work, right?
His cap. That's what I'm saying. Like. The Chiefs can't cut him because he's got a dead cap of $48 million next season. He's got a cap hit the next 3 years of 44, 38, 44. Now, in 2027, there is a potential out. So you have to keep him next year. If you have to keep Chris Jones is on the team next season. Like that's happening. Chris Jones is a Kansas City Chief next year. And frankly, like I'm okay with that. I think he's been productive for the most part. Not for the most part. He's been productive these last few weeks. I don't think he's washed. I still think he's got a lot left.
I don't think he is either.
He's got multiple years of productivity left. I point to the defensive line issues around him. That's where I point.
100%.
Like the pressure rate yesterday with 5-man pressure, 14%, not even 16, 14% pressure rate when they rushed 5.
Did you see the tweet that Nate put out yesterday?
No.
I believe this was in the first half. This was at halftime. According to Next Gen Stats, George Karlaftis has only 1 pressure on 16 pass rushing snaps. And listen, that's not 1 sack. That's 1 pressure.
Yeah.
He ain't even getting home.
Oh,
and correct me if I'm wrong, did Tyler Guyton play yesterday?
I don't know. I'd have to look at that.
I don't remember.
I
I know that obviously you're talking about tackles. If Tyler Guyton didn't play, we're talking they were down a tackle. And you weren't getting a pressure. You got 1 pressure in the first half. I think to Sean's point, you paid the man, And he's not producing consistently enough for a guy that you would want to pay.
Yeah, Tyler Guyton didn't play.
Tyler Guyton didn't play, and George Karlaftis, who they just paid. This, again, to your point, this is not about Chris Jones. This is a situation around him. I agree with you. We didn't see Charles Omenihu get home at all. We didn't see George Karlaftis get home at all. We didn't see Ashton Gillotte get home at all.
None of these guys get home.
And
Chris Jones is the only one making any sort of havoc.
And that was part of the complaint at the trade deadline is, well, you didn't make a move. But then you go back to history. Well, they've made moves for defensive linemen, and they haven't done anything with them. Like, they traded for Josh Uche last season, and he barely played.
And guess what? He's killing it over in Philly.
So are we sure that he would play based on what the Chiefs do? No, but this is the reason why when Nate came on the show fresh after the day of the trade deadline and said, they're going to have to rely on Ashton Gillotte, and he's the guy that has to step up. We haven't seen it. And as a result, this defensive line continues to be exactly what it was, and that's Chris Jones gets doubled. Every now and then he's able to win because he's Chris Jones, and nobody else is there to help him.
No,
and
if
he got some help, whether it's Charles Omenihu or whether it's George Karlaftis, then maybe we would see a bit of a change. But I think this is where the lack of aggressiveness, if you will, at the trade deadline is kind of hurting them, and then we'll see what happens in the draft. But I mean, you've got a defensive line need. Is that the direction that you go? I know Bink's fired up to talk about weapons. Do you look elsewhere other than defensive line? I think it has to be defensive line that you draft. But if we're talking rebuild and we're looking at that broad situation, what it means, they got to address defensive line from the draft standpoint, right? Or are they not going to play him?
I mean, they'll play someone that's back. I mean,
there's so many questions with this team that it's questions about who they draft. It's also questions about whether the rookie plays. It's about them getting production or lack thereof across the board. Still can't cover a person out of the linebacker position.
No. Oh, God,
they're
no.
in quicksand.
God, no. And that's harder to find. And I wouldn't have paid Nick Bolton, right? But they did, and here we are. Jeffrey Bassa was supposed to be...
He's a great run defender. Nick
Bolton's great.
And Spags
He's a great
trusts him.
tackler.
I get it.
Yeah, I get it. But that's the thing. Nick Bolton's trusted by Spags. Spags has his guys. And once you're in that ring of trust with Spags, to a fault, you are played. To a fault, you are in the game. And to a fault, you are trusted. And I think Karlaftis is now in that circle of trust. And I think he got let in too early. I don't think he should be there yet. And I don't care. Listen, again, this is advanced stats guy over here. This is EPA. This is DVOA guy over here. I don't care about his pressure rate anymore. I'm watching the games. At some point, listen, you've got to take the eye test as well. And the eye test to George Karlaftis says, I don't know, that quarterback doesn't give a rip about his quote-unquote pressures. He's the king of being a step late. He's the king of being a second short. Yep. It's mind-boggling. And frankly, I knew the contract was going to look better and better just because this is the way contracts, especially with this position, work. They're going to get higher and higher. The value is going to increase and increase. So as bad as that contract looked when it happened, it looks better now, even with his poor play. So it's not just that the contract isn't great because it's not a great contract. It's not as bad as some people would like to say. It's the fact that he has not gotten better. You paid a guy a little more than he was already worth, saying, okay, the contracts are going to ascend, so this value, this percentage of the cap that you're saying it takes up isn't going to be relevant, one, and then two, he's going to improve and he's going to get better. I trust this player and this development, and we have not seen it.
I think, and for anyone's sakes, quit looking at Chris Jones through Chiefs-colored glasses. He is terrible in all caps, by the way, from this texter. First of all, you got to know, Drew is not looking through this through a Chiefs-colored lens at all whatsoever. I don't look through things that way. And I assume, I don't think Mac does that either. I don't think very many people at this station look through things from a Chiefs-colored lens, but I will say,
I've trashed Chris Jones in the past. He's had 3 good games in a row.
Yeah.
Really good games.
And I think that part is because the texter, he basically, they referenced Chris Jones not playing was not George Karlaftis' fault, but Chris Jones, but by our logic, Karlaftis isn't getting it done because Chris Jones isn't getting it done, which is not true because Chris Jones is dealing with 2 people. George Karlaftis is dealing with 1.
Yes.
George Karlaftis is not getting double-teamed. If George Karlaftis was getting double-teamed, then Chris Jones would probably be a lot more productive.
He's going on one-on-one, and as you already laid out, he's going one-on-one with a backup tackle, and he is not winning.
I know. Chris Jones is, if anything, he's providing the opportunities for these guys to eat, and they're not eating, which makes the contract to George Karlaftis not look that good, is what I think, at least I'm coming from from that standpoint is, especially because they paid him. I thought they should have paid McDuffie before they paid George, because the jury was still kind of out on George Karlaftis, in my opinion. He had done well, but I think they needed to see that extra step before you pay somebody money. Let me see what they thought, because to me, and I think there's been aspects of it, I guess, if you will, Mac, but stay with me. What I would have wanted to see if I was the Chiefs is, before we pay you, let me see you go on a dominant sort of a run where you're not Chris Jones dominant, but you are getting a sack for 2 or 3 straight games. Let me see you put constant pressure on the quarterback and you're getting multiple quarterback pressures in a game. I want to see that not just once or twice. I want to see it in a stretch of 3 to 4 games. Show us what your peak looks like so we give you this money. I don't think he's shown them the peak enough. And maybe we didn't really, and maybe it was hard to evaluate these players until Chris Jones is gone. Like when Chris Jones is gone, maybe that's where you get the full evaluation of, okay, how good is Omar Norman-Lott? How good is Ashton Gillotte actually? Because if you're not getting pressure when another guy on your line's getting double teamed, then how are we going to expect you to do anything when nobody's getting double teamed and taking an extra player away from you? I don't know.
Exactly. What's it like? What's it going to be like when you don't have a top 5 guy?
What is it going to look like when Chris Jones is? They might be one of the least productive defensive lines in football. Period. And they already kind of are.
And they already kind of are with Chris Jones, who I believe, and not even I believe, he is still elite. He is still one of the best at his position. Every coach talks about him like that way. And if you've seen the last 3 games that Kansas City's played, he has showed up in that way. He has been winning. He's had TFLs. He has been there. You're right. Karlaftis is getting one-on-ones because he's there. And he's not always going to be there. And if you can't win now, what's it going to be like in a couple of years? And from the 816, he's got no secondary move. He doesn't.
And this is the thing, too, where the fact that you got paid, now the clock is ticking on. Now all eyes are on you. As soon as you get the money, you're getting paid more. You got to step up and be one of the best players on this defense. I mean, is George Karlaftis one of the 5 best players on defense? I think so. But I mean,
that's because the talent level isn't that great.
I think it's, Chris Jones,
Chris Jones after that, it's McDuffie and Chris Jones, and we saw what McDuffie really is sometimes.
Yeah, and then I think George Karlaftis, I would say, is 3rd, but at the same time,
we've seen Chris Jones, what he can be from times to times now that he's past the age of 30.
Yeah.
This defensive, and this is what I'm pointing to, like, everything's connected. Like, Spags not playing some certain people, as you mentioned. Like, that's part of it. Spags having a certain type of edge rusher that he likes.
Good things, like Noah Williams,
Noah Williams, Josh Uche on another team now with the Eagles, and I know he has 1 sack. He's got a lot of pressures. He's got multiple QB hits. He's more than Karlaftis has been, for sure. And then you look at, him not playing certain players, certain guys not getting snaps, or him having a certain archetype of a guy that he likes that may be outdated, right? Like that bigger, slower Gillotte, Karlaftis edge rather than a Josh Uche, Micah Parsons, Will Anderson type edge. All of those things hindering this defense. And then also Brett Veach simply not bringing in a lot of the talent that needs to be here as well.
I
think has to answer the call on some of this as well.
It is interesting because if you look at the way that they've kind of built things, it feels like they not necessarily get complacent with the defense, but based on what they've been the last couple of years, we're going to address offense more in these early picks with Xavier Worthy and Josh Simmons and Rashee Rice. And it's worked out, obviously, for those guys. But by doing that, you're relying on the development of your coaches to make sure that Jalen Watson is consistently good, to make sure that Shamari Connor is going to continue to develop, to make sure that George Karlaftis will continue to be better. That and I know Omar Norman-Lott got hurt, but that's where the eyes will be on now is you're drafting guys in the 2nd, 3rd, or 4th round where, yes, Veach hits on some of those, but from the standpoint of developing these players, you're relying on your top picks being on offense and you're not dedicating those resources, at least over the last couple of years, it feels like, to defense. Where now it's kind of flipped where, okay, the offense is kind of getting set up to be good. Do they go defensive heavy again early on to try to replace, to try to get more talent just up front in general, but also potentially at linebacker and in the back end of the defense as well? I think there's a lot of different ways that they can go about it in terms of how they fix the issues that they have. So they don't have any money in free agent. see, at least right now, correct?
They
Just
won't
'cause
have a
the way
lot
that
this offseason.
No matter, unless they trade Chris Jones, or does that still not matter? Like if they
could trade Chris Jones, that would take off. Yeah,
if they reconstruct and trade Chris Jones, that would open up money on the books at least.
For sure. And I don't think they should do that, to be clear. I think Chris Jones should be a part of this, personally. I think trading True McDuffie's a thing. I think if you can trade George Karlaftis, that would be a thing. But no, you're right. They don't have a lot of wiggle room as of now. It's going to have to be another year of drafting. And I think that's a good segue, because I know we got to go, but real quick, I know we got to go. We know the 2022 draft. Everyone talks about that from Brett Veach, right? It's the McDuffie, Josh Williams, Pacheco helped out this team for a long time. Chenal, right? Some really solid players in that draft.
Yep.
Can we just look at the others real quick? 2020.
Let's do it.
2020. Clyde. Willie Gay. Fine. Second round pick.
No longer here.
No longer here, right? Lucas Niang, Sneed, no longer here, but great couple years. Good draft pick in the 4th round. Great draft pick. Mike Dana, fine. 5th round, it's fine. Trey Smith, 6th round pick. Good, but that was, again, not scouting, not development. This is not us finding a diamond in the rough. This is a medical. This is the same.
Still, though, it still counts as a hit. Even if it was a first-round pick,
counts as a hit. I'm just pointing out the fact that this is not scouting. I'm just trying to find a theme here. This is not a guy finding talent in the rough when other people don't see it.
I gotcha.
Corner Powell, never worked out. Noah Gray, it's fine. Kando, never even heard of this guy. Joshua Kando in the 4th round. Creed Humphrey, obviously we know. And Nick Bolton, obviously we know, has been solid as a 2nd-round pick. 2022, we've gone through it, but let's just go through it again, because McDuffie, everyone talks about Karlaftis. We're talking about Karlaftis in a little bit of a different light. That's a 1st-round pick right now, Karlaftis. Sky Moore in the 2nd round. Brian Cook has some huge deficiencies. Joshua Williams didn't play yesterday. Darian Kennard, Watson, we saw his deficiencies. 7th-round pick, though. We'll take it. Pacheco, Najee Johnson. Now, let's look at this. 2023, FAU, you get Rashee Rice in the 2nd round. Then you get Wanye Morris, Chamari Connor, BJ Thompson, Keandre Coburn, Nick Jones. You got Rashee Rice in 2023. That's what you got. In 2024, Xavier Worthy, we can talk about him. I'm not happy. Kingsley has looked good at guard. Jared Wiley, we know nothing. Jaden Hicks can't cover. Hunter Norzad, never going to play. Kamal Haddon, LOL. CJ Hansen. You've got Kingsley as a guard that you drafted at a tackle position, and you had to move because he was unplayable at the position you drafted him at. And Xavier Worthy looks to be a gadget guy. And this year, you lucked into Josh Simmons. That's what's happened. Any free agency ads that I'm missing?
It almost, like, if you're going to fall back on 2020, that was almost 4 years ago.
Exactly.
And now we're at the point where you're paying guys. And George Karlaftis, somebody brought up his numbers real quick before we go, because I know we do need to take a break from the 402. This person put out George's production numbers. I'm just going to give... He's having as good of a season, actually, as his rookie year, believe it or not.
Who, Karlaftis?
From a pressure standpoint, which actually was his best year from a pressure standpoint, his rookie season. Sack-wise, 2nd year was the best one at 10.5. Through, what are we now through? 12 games, he has 5 sacks. He's on pace for maybe the season he had last year, and that's 8 sacks with 37 pressures. He has 52 pressures, though, so he's done a better job, particularly earlier in the year with the pressures. He was doing actually very well, where Chris Jones wasn't in the beginning of the season.
But when you watched it, and again, I'm a pressures guy, I understand they're very valuable, but did you feel that? Did you feel like he was getting to the QB a lot? Like as much as Aiden Hutchinson was getting to the QB? Because that's what I got from the text line for the first 7 weeks.
I agree. I don't think it was to that standpoint, but I could tell that George was getting around. I will say this, though, and this I think is part of the problem. He is on pace for the same sacks as he had last year. He got paid after last year based on what, Mac, you just said a few minutes ago, based on what he could be.
What he's going to be.
He's not improved.
He's not.
And I think that's where the problem is that if this same thing happens next year with George Karlaftis, then I'll be honest. I know that the money looks fine. It's a bad deal. You use the money when you could have just when you could have just either found another option or dedicated the money to something else and potentially Chris Jones' replacement, and then you drafted a couple more edge rushers or whatever the case is. If it happens again next year and he's on this pace where he's going to be worse than he was, he's not having a career best season after you get paid, then it's a problem, and you start to wonder if you wasted your money, even though the deal looks good.
100%. 100%. You paid that like a tier 3, tier 2 money to a guy who's not quite there, but he's going to be above that, you thought. So it's like, wow, it's going to be a deal. And now you're paying that tier 3, tier 2 money to...
He's pacing to have a similar season from a sack perspective.
What looks to just be like he's a mid player. That's what he is.
He's
fine. He's fine. He's fine.
He's never going to be that guy on your line.
He's fine. He's fine. We've got a lot to talk about and a lot to go over. An hour and 15 minutes left with you. And in 15 minutes, Josh Briscoe coming on the show, right?
That's right.
Our guy Briscoe will be joining us. Make sure you're a part of the show as well. 913-586-7965. We are live on YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, and Facebook. The Fan 965. Make sure you watch our beautiful faces there. Drew Nixon's going to take over. I'm Mac Morey. We're live with you for the next hour and 15 minutes right here on 96.5 The Fan, your home for the Kansas City Chiefs.
You're listening to Black Friday football coverage with Mac Morey and Drew Nixon on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
What's up, Missouri? Tony Gonzalez here. I've spent a lot of Sundays right here playing in front of the best fans in football. And now it's almost your turn to get in the game because DraftKings Sportsbook is coming to the Show Me State on December 1st. Soon you'll get fast payouts when you win, a safe and secure app that's easy to use, and promos that keep the action going all season long. It's America's top-rated sportsbook app. New customers can sign up right now and score $300 in bonus bets on launch day, December 1st.
Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code 965. New Missouri customers, sign up today and score $300 in bonus bets once we're live. That's code 965. In partnership with DraftKings Sportsbook. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 and over. Physically present in Missouri. Eligibility restrictions apply. Terms at DraftKings.com/sportsbook. Subject to regulatory licensing requirements. Bonus bets are non-withdrawable and expire 7 days after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos.
This holiday, Verizon is helping you bundle up incredible gifts and savings. You'll get the latest phone with a new line on My Plan and a brand new smartwatch and tablet. No trade-in needed. Visit a Verizon store today. Service plan required for watch and tablet. Additional terms apply.
It's a Red Friday on 96.5 The Fan, and the other place is your sports watching headquarters this fall. Now with 5 great area locations: Shawnee, Olathe, downtown Overland Park, Mission, and Belton. Enjoy Red Friday specials all day.
250 years ago, a promise was made to connect families and friends near and far. And during the holidays, that promise is more important than ever. That's why USPS is building a better network to meet your needs with timely deliveries, easy and affordable ways to ship, and everything you need to make your season full of holiday cheer. Our purpose is delivering your peace of mind, knowing your love will arrive, bringing joy to all. The United States Postal Service. Learn more at USPS.com/holidays.
If you've been diagnosed with moderate to severe plaque psoriasis, this is what it sounds like to be a million miles away. Imagine being a million miles away. Tremfya guselkumab, taken by injection, is a prescription medicine for adults with moderate to severe plaque psoriasis who may benefit from taking injections or pills or phototherapy. With Tremfya, clearer skin is possible. In clinical trials, at least 70% of patients saw at least 90% clearer skin at 16 weeks. Results may vary. Tremfya is also indicated for adults with active psoriatic arthritis. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Ask your doctor about Tremfya. Call 1-800-526-7736 or visit Tremfya.com. If you've been diagnosed with moderate to severe plaque psoriasis, this is what it sounds like to be a million miles away. Imagine being a million miles away. Tremfya guselkumab, taken by injection, is a prescription medicine for adults with moderate to severe plaque psoriasis who may benefit from taking injections or pills or phototherapy. With Tremfya, clearer skin is possible. In clinical trials, at least 70% of patients saw at least 90% clearer skin at 16 weeks. Results may vary. Tremfya is also indicated for adults with active psoriatic arthritis. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Ask your doctor about Tremfya. Call 1-800-526-7736 or visit Tremfya.com.
Hi, I'm Emily, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company, where a small box with a burgundy bow will help you win the holidays. As an in-house designer, I love creating meaningful, fine jewelry gifts. Choose a necklace with a gorgeous infinity charm to symbolize your everlasting love. Or go for a personalized piece with an engraving, their zodiac sign, favorite color gemstone, or their initial accented with pave diamonds. Because a friend wants you to be a holiday hero. Stop by or shop now at shaneco.com. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Since we opened our doors in 1868, Busey has fostered deep customer relationships and vibrant communities, embodying a legacy of partnership and progress. With multiple lines of business, we provide a range of financial solutions tailored to your needs. From digital banking to planning for retirement, Busey is here to help you achieve your financial goals. Busey Bank, building business, growing wealth since 1868. Member FDIC.
We are back. Black Friday football coverage here on 96.5 The Fan. Drew Nixon, Mac Morey, reacting to the Chiefs falling to 6-6 today. Had Sean Smith earlier. You'll be able to hear it on the podcast page for Fesco and Dusty in a little bit. We're gonna make sure we get the hours posted so you guys can listen to the show. Josh Briscoe coming up here in about 10 minutes time.
Love it.
I want to take a step away, not necessarily from the Chiefs exactly, but this is something that I thought of over the course of time here. I guess the last couple weeks I've been thinking about this more as I've been watching sports. But Pablo Torre had a tweet that came out. Good old Pablo. This has nothing to do with Bill Belichick, I promise. Or Mark Cuban or Steve Ballmer or anything else like that.
Or Jordan.
Yeah. But I've been finding myself into this position. I want to know if you have as well, where I'm making bets and our fandom, I think, is changing so much so that we're not even as interested in the teams that we root for anymore. We're just interested to see if our bets hit. And I think how it's changed fandom. So obviously this is a little bit of a change of speed, but I think it relates well because we all bet. I bet on the Chiefs game yesterday. Did not win, unfortunately. I don't know if you bet anything yesterday.
I did not win.
But
I won a couple dry bets. I was doing some live betting stuff, but yeah.
Yeah. I was doing some live stuff as well. But Pablo Torre had a comment basically that legal gambling could spell the end of sports, quote unquote, cultural supremacy as fans root for payouts rather than teams. And I thought this was really interesting, just from the standpoint of how we watch sports. I don't think it's changed any of the way that you have watched Chiefs games, because ultimately, I think in the end, we're all fans of teams in particular, and we want our teams to win. But I do think there is a level to this conversation as it pertains to the betting side of things, because I have friends who will legitimately bet. So like my friends back home in Indiana, they will bet on the Colts to lose. But the root for the Colts. But they want.
So it's like they're hedging their happiness.
Yeah, they're hedging their happiness. Yes. Is that where we're at? I don't know if you have done any. I don't know if any of you have done that.
I've done that before, not with the Chiefs. I wouldn't do that with the Chiefs.
I was going to say, I feel like with the Chiefs, it would be a no. But with your fans, is this something that people do on a regular basis now? And is it affecting the way that we like?
It's definitely affected the way
root for teams.
100%.
Like, well, my team didn't win, but you know what? My fantasy football team did good this week.
100%.
Or I won some money on betting, and that helps make up for our fandom, where all of a sudden you're watching games not because you're actually enjoying the sport, but because you want to bet to hit. Like, I think that betting can make our enjoyment of sports more significant. We pay more attention to different things, but it's also, we're not watching it for the enjoyment of the sport. It's you're locked into a certain player, and if they don't get their numbers, then you're a little bit irritated.
Yeah, I think, well, we get so caught up with he didn't do this, he didn't do this. Well, it's like he had one awesome catch, but it wasn't, 3 catches, and you had him over under for 3, so you're not going to care about the one great catch or one great play that a guy made, or maybe you made a bet for the team that the team that you root for is playing against. And so now all of a sudden, because of your bet has one leg left in the parlay, you're now rooting for Michael Pittman against the Colts to get 60 yards. And you need one more drive, and it's like, even if those yards equal a score for the Colts and going in the lead, like, you're still rooting for that because you want your $80 or whatever. Like, it definitely changes things, and I think it also emphasizes that We are the biggest sports fans ever. We've cried tears of joy, tears of sadness for these teams. But hey, put a little money, put a little cash on the line. Those loyalties can die pretty quickly. It is kind of funny to see that in real life.
Well, this is what I'm saying. So from the 785, big Chiefs fan, but I always bet against them. That way I'm happy if they win or lose.
Yeah.
I think that is, and it's...
That's insane to me, but good for you.
I'm not knocking it because obviously, to each their own. But I think that is that where we're transitioning to be as sports fans? Is that where we're at now? Where, well, you know what? If the Chiefs lose, then at least I can win some money. But then if the Chiefs win, you're happy they won, but then you lost money. I'll be totally honest. I would much rather, just from the sake of what we do, Mac, I'd like to win my bet maybe if I decide to bet more than a team winning, just in fairness, because you feel like you've wasted money at that point. But it is very interesting, I think, when we look at how we evaluate and watch sports, because we're fed lines, and I think some of this goes into just like the betting stuff in general with the Chauncey Billups stuff. I think this is where it all kind of originates, is this where we're at now, where fans are yelling at players and getting mad at players because of a parlay and telling them to go and
kick rocks.
Yeah, go and kick rocks and to stop playing and that they suck because they're not getting
death threats.
They're not getting numbers.
Ridiculous.
Like it's just crazy to me. Like Chris Jones, are you sure that are you sure you're not betting on Chris Jones' sack total or something like that? Because if you're watching the game, Chris Jones is effective.
100%.
If you're watching if you're watching players play for the betting standpoint and box scoring, then you might be disappointed more often than not.
Exactly.
And not actually be paying attention to the game and appreciating what you see in the game.
Your box score watching.
Yeah, I think it becomes where, we've even asked this question earlier this week. I think Alex and Cody have mentioned it, but people have texted on the text line. It's like, are you watching the game? Like are you seeing what we're seeing? And I think some of it might just be because we're paying attention through sports from a different lens. This person, not for the Chiefs, but if you bet against the Royals, they do every time. I just think it's not necessarily a miserable way to be as a sports fan because you eventually cover both bases, I suppose. But and this is why I don't bet on my favorite teams.
Yeah. Well,
traditionally,
I don't bet. Yeah, I very rarely bet on the Chiefs to win or lose. I'm usually doing player props. Last week I bet on the Chiefs to win. That was a game where I'm like, the Chiefs are winning this game, and so I did that. Didn't feel that way against the Cowboys, and what do you know? They ended up losing. Maybe I should have bet on them to win, but. Yeah, man. Yeah, it has definitely changed the way we perceive these sports, and it changes the way the players perceive us as fans, and that sucks too. So no doubt.
It definitely does. Coming up next, Josh Briscoe, Chiefs pre and post game host, will join the program. We are switching.
The big Wicked guy from the 785 loves Wicked.
Yeah, we are definitely going to bring up Wicked and how excited Briscoe is to see the new one, if he hasn't yet.
I think he dressed up as Glenda when he went to go see it.
Oh, let's go.
Yeah, I think he wore a wig and everything.
Shout out to Josh. He joins us next. It is Black Friday football coverage. Mac and Drew on the other side. One more hour to go on 96.5 The Fan.
You're listening to Black Friday football coverage with Mac Maury and Drew Nixon on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
Men, it's the holidays, a time of love and joy. But if you suffer from erectile dysfunction, the season can be tough on you. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health. And if you and your partner are experiencing struggles because of ED, change it up this year. Give the best gift you can give to the one you love by treating your ED and restoring your relationship. At Heartland Men's Health, we're experts at treating ED. And as a Prometic restorative health practice, we've literally seen countless thousands of relationships renewed across the nation. Plus, with treatments having success rates well over 90%, coupled with many treatment options, we can likely find the right one for you. You may even find you're performing like you haven't in years. So call us and give your partner the best gift you can give this season, a renewed, restored relationship. Your first visit is only $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in our office, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600 or go to heartlandmenshealth.com. We have 3 offices: Overland Park, Independence, and North Kansas City.
West Shore Home makes it easy to knock out your bathroom, window, door, or flooring project right now. If you've been putting off one of those projects, the team over at West Shore Home is the perfect fit for you. They've been in business for nearly 20 years, have helped hundreds of thousands of homeowners, and are ready to help you save big with their Black Friday sale. Free installation on all projects, plus lock in an extra $500 off when you schedule now at westshorehome.com/thefan. That's westshorehome.com/thefan. Don't miss out.
Numerous brands to choose from, endless options, one incredible experience. At Aristocrat Motors, we treat every driver like royalty and offer the finest luxury vehicle experience in Kansas City. Come see us today and let us roll out the red carpet for you.
Doug. Here we have the Limu Emu in its natural habitat, helping people customize their car insurance and save hundreds with Liberty Mutual. Fascinating. It's accompanied by his natural ally, Doug.
Limu, is that guy with the binoculars watching us?
Cut the camera. They see us.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Savings vary. Underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company and affiliates. Excludes Massachusetts.
With the first pick in the McDonald's breakfast draft, I'm going with a tasty sausage, egg, and cheese McGriddle sandwich. Bold move, sweet, savory, totally stacked. But wait, that delicious sausage McMuffin with egg sandwich is still on the board. Lucky for me, McD lets you mix and match 2 for just $5. And right now, any size iced coffee is only $1.89. Breakfast at McDonald's. That's the real winning deal. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Prices and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal. Single item at regular price.
Hey, Zach. Are you smiling at my gorgeous canyon view?
No, Donald. I'm smiling because I've got something I want to tell the whole world.
Well, do it. Shout it out.
T-Mobile's got home internet.
Whoa, I love that echo. T-Mobile's got home internet.
How much is it?
Look at that, Zach. We got the neighbors' attention.
Just $35 a month. And you love a great deal, Denise.
Plus, they've got a 5-year price guarantee. That's 5 whole trips around the sun.
I'm switching.
Me too.
Yes, T-Mobile home internet for the neighborhood.
Donald, you still haven't returned my weed whacker.
Carl, don't you embarrass me like this, please.
What's everyone yelling about?
T-Mobile's got home internet. And Donald's got my weed whacker.
Yes, T-Mobile's got home internet. Just $35 a month with auto pay and any voice line. And it's guaranteed for 5 years.
Beautiful yodeling, Carl.
Taxes and fees apply. See T-Mobile.com/ISP for details and exclusions.
This report is brought to you by O'Reilly Auto Parts, your professional parts people.
Check engine or ABS light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
96.5 The Fan and the Kansas Lottery are giving you a shot at fourth quarter fortune with the chance to score a game day tailgate bundle and a $100 holiday instant ticket. Go to 965thefan.com for your chance to win. Must be 18 or older to enter. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel to watch all your favorite shows, shorts, and clips. This is your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan. KFNC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station. He's the first voice you hear 3 hours before kickoff and the first voice you hear after the final whistle.
Future Hall of Fame receiver, future Hall of Fame quarterback, being able to figure it out for the last half of the season.
Here's the new Chiefs Radio Network pregame and postgame show host, Josh Briscoe.
Final hour, Black Friday football coverage here on 96.5 The Fan. Drew Nixon, Mac Morey, and yeah, you just heard it. Josh Briscoe is joining the program now. Josh, what's up, man?
I mean, I've had better Thanksgivings, but, you know, it's nice to hear your guys' voice today. Glad to get to join you for a little bit of a look back. But I'll go ahead and let you take the victory lap on this one. I watched the Cincinnati Bengals defense have a much better day at the office yesterday than the Chiefs did. I didn't think that was going to be a problem.
Don't do this, Briscoe. Dude, don't feed into this.
The only thing I'll say is we watched an all-time defensive performance from the worst defense in the NFL. How those two things came together, I do not know. But yeah, Josh, I guess before we get into the Chiefs, other than the game, how was your Thanksgiving?
I mean, still, I got to, I just posted a thing on my Instagram story of the one picture I took in the studio yesterday with me and Nick Springer. It's just me and my family, Nick Springer, hanging out. So great guys all across the Chiefs radio network. So a good hang there yesterday. But yeah, it was a bit soiled by an effort that obviously now leaves the Chiefs' remainder of their season very, very, very much in doubt.
Yeah, now they're 6-6. Obviously, it feels like it is. You have to win out. Based on what we've seen, though, like Matt and I've kind of been trying to break down exactly what things went wrong, where do we go from here, what are the little points and things that you want to emphasize in terms of how this team looks. If you were right now to say on a confidence meter 1 to 10, how confident you feel that this team can win out, what would your confidence meter be?
Very low. I mean, that's kind of the thing right now, right? Where it's like, yeah, no, they still have a path into the playoffs. The season isn't literally over. They didn't literally lose, they're not mathematically eliminated. But without, all the details and where this is going, it seems almost certain that they're going to end up going up against the Houston Texans, probably without Josh Simmons, maybe without Trey Smith, maybe without Jawan Taylor. And that's probably the best pass rush in football. I saw what they did to the Bills, and I guess we'll see what the Texans do on Sunday as well. But you're talking about an offense that can't find a groove in the best of circumstances, a defense that can't get off the field on third down, or at least couldn't yesterday. That question in and of itself, Drew, is kind of the thing that has me a little more down today, even more down than I was after the Bills loss or even the Broncos loss, because you could still kind of piece together, okay, well, you've got maybe one more game you can afford to drop the rest of the way. They beat the Colts, show some good things there, and then it was a lot of the same old issues yesterday, and the margin for error now is just none.
Well, and you mentioned Josh Simmons, and that lowers what the lack thereof, the margin of error, the non-existent margin of error already. I mean, what does that do to the ceiling of this team?
It lowers it, and I mean, it also, I think, lowers the floor in a way that we saw a little bit against Dallas. Now, look, if Jalen Moore ends up back out there at left tackle and Jawan Taylor is at right tackle, then I think the floor is kind of okay, and to your point, the ceiling is the thing in question. When Josh Simmons has been on the field and not being flagged for blocking too good, I guess, I don't know, when he's just been allowed to play left tackle, or he's been there to play left tackle, he's been really, really good this year. Like, I think this is going to stink because it ends up being a pretty small sample size. But if the Chiefs do lose one more of these games along the way and this season ends in the regular season, which feels more plausible now than it has at any point in the Patrick Mahomes era, if this season does end with that game against the Raiders in early January, I think we'll look back and say, well, the perhaps the brightest silver lining of this season is that Josh Simmons truly looked like a franchise left tackle in the making. Like, I don't think that's an exaggeration at all. I think that's absolutely the case. It's just disappointing that he misses some games there for the personal matter, and then now the rest of his season is in some amount of doubt based on that report from Ian Rappaport, kind of throwing out the idea of him going to IR. Obviously, even if it's just the 4-game minimum, you're pushing all the way to Christmas. So I really do think that is a pretty brutal blow, because it's one more thing for the offense to work around. And again, this just hasn't been an offense that's been firing on all cylinders. They needed a fifth quarter to get 23 points against the Indianapolis Colts. That's their only win in the last 4 games. It's hard to feel very much confidence in the effort that they've put out there, even at healthier, more full strength than they're probably going to be against that killer Texans pass rush in about 9 days.
You brought up the offense and how they seemingly are as inconsistent as ever when it comes to not being able to consistently find that groove. Mac and I are leaning more, Josh, on the side of now that we've gotten to this point, we're looking at Andy Reid as to not necessarily being the problem, but trying to figure out what exactly is going wrong. And it feels like we're at that point now where we have to look at the head coach and say, hey, man, I know that some guys are beaten up a little bit, but Rashee Rice is on the field. Hollywood is on the field. Xavier Worthy is on the field. The offensive line really up until this week had been relatively healthy. I know you didn't have Josh Simmons, but from a health perspective, things were okay, but the offense is peaks and valleys. What exactly, can you put your finger on anything to say what a problem, what the main source of the problem is, or is this a collective thing? Like, what exactly is it?
I mean, it's definitely a collective thing, but I think kind of the terms you're looking at there are pretty close to where my head's at in terms of like, okay, so it's really, really hard, and I don't know in the NFL if you can ever truly say like, yeah, one guy is the problem, one coach or one player or one GM or whatever. A lot of times we kind of build villains just so there's somebody to fire. You know, the Raiders can fire Chip Kelly and then say, you know what, we're figuring it out now, and that's usually just kind of a fall guy situation. I don't know that I think there's plenty of blame to go around. I don't think you have all this talent and go 6-6 without everybody having some responsibility in what went wrong. But I would kind of ask the inverse question of like, who has shown you solutions to the problems? Who has been able to cover some of those up? And look, while Patrick Mahomes is not having his best season, while he has had some stretches where he's looked a bit more mortal than we're used to seeing him, you also still see some of those absolutely magical plays. We saw some early and then some just a little too late yesterday against the Cowboys, where it felt like he was doing the thing back in his home state, his hometown team, in a stadium that, you know, he and his family used to go to watch games and sneak down to lower levels. It really felt like we were going to get one of those like storybook kind of games with a few of those moments from Mahomes. So I think you've seen him create some of those solutions, but that does beg the question of like, why does the offense just look so hard? Everything about it just seems labored. There's so little easy chunk play stuff. It feels like Mahomes, even when it's working, it's not really in rhythm. So look, I don't know how to split up the blame pie on the offensive side of the football, but when Andy Reid talks about, you know, the who has the final call on things, he's got 51% of the vote, he says. And so in this case, I think you just say, hey, look, this has always been Andy Reid's offense. To Super Bowls, plural, and winning them multiple and going to 3 in a row, that was Andy Reid's offense. And the adjustments they made last year, that was Andy Reid helping cover up some of the injury issues in this team and all of that. But it's Andy Reid's offense this year too. I think that's just kind of the fact of the matter when you have, you know, one of the most decorated coaches in NFL history at the top of the org chart there. It's his offense, and it's Patrick Mahomes' offense, perhaps secondary behind that. So again, you can share blame. I think everybody's probably got a piece of it. There just haven't been enough solutions from anywhere this season, and now they're 6-6, despite the fact that they do have still good underlying numbers. They have still scored points this year. The Colts game was the first time in a while where it felt like they scored points when they really needed to, and the ability to, the lack of ability to do that this year has been probably the most jarring thing.
Yeah, it feels stagnant, stale, predictable all on offense, and a lot of that does come back to Andy. I think we could talk about some of the players and execution, and I want to. I've got some questions regarding that, but I mean, we've brought up talent acquisition as well this morning, Briscoe, and Brett Veach and what he's done to help this football team. I've countered throughout these last couple of weeks. The only thing that they got better at this last offseason was they got Josh Simmons, and that wasn't really a scouting or talent development thing or talent thing. That was hey, we lucked into a guy because of injuries at the end of the first round, and everyone knew he was the best tackle in the draft. Where do you put Brett Veach as far as the blame pie is concerned?
I mean, I guess that he and Spags are probably the two guys you look at when you look at the pass rush, and I don't know, again, chicken and egg and whatnot here.
Yeah, of course.
I don't know if Veach is limited in the types of defensive ends that Spags typically wants, and that kind of changes the math there, or if it's, you know, Veach stock in the cupboard and Spags is working with the ingredients or whatever it is. But the pass rush has been the thing that we knew in the offseason. It was like, I don't know if this pass rush is going to come together. They double dip on the defensive line, kind of right around the wraparound in the second and third round with Omar Norman-Lott and Ashton Gelati. Obviously, Omar was dealing with injuries basically like right out of the gate in the offseason, and then obviously lost for the year a few games into him getting back onto the field, that is. And then Ashton Gelati still in the mix, and he's played some decent football, but right now he seems like he's kind of in a position to make it easier to walk away from Mike Dana after this year. He's not that he's developed into an explosive edge rusher that can speed up quarterbacks. And so I think that for me on the defensive side, that's the place that I do look where I go, man, it felt like we kind of knew where the D-line was going to have its issues, but they brought some pieces back together. And again, you can have players that aren't hitting their levels either. I liked bringing back Charles Omenihu, and he's had a couple of moments, but not enough consistency. Chris Jones is obviously the king of that defense, and particularly that pass rush, and he has had times, like that Colts game on Sunday, where he has taken over, where he has been the needle mover that he needs to be, the closer, so to speak. But those moments have also become a little bit more rare as he's aged, and it's really just this season. He was great last year too. So again, I know that it's like a little bit of sort of spreading it all around, but I really do think that's kind of the unfortunate truth here. I think if there is one or two problems, you've seen this coaching staff and this quarterback and this GM, you've seen them cover up one or two glaring weaknesses and still end up in the Super Bowl. This year, it just feels like there have been too many holes in the boat to patch up all at once, and now they have to be perfect the rest of the way to keep that trend.
Josh, I think that just looking at the game yesterday and watching, there's moments where it feels like, in particular, George Karlaftis doesn't have his name brought up. I know that Charles Omenihu, we've talked about him all the time being a second-half player, and he gets better in the second half and all these things, but the more that we hear, or the more that we see the games go on, we don't hear his name being brought up as much. I saw Nate Taylor put out, I believe this was at halftime, George Karlaftis had one pressure in the 16 pass attempts that they had, and we really didn't see him make as much of an impact. Not that the deal is a bad deal. I think it's too early necessarily to make that judgment, maybe until after next season. But based on what we're seeing from a player that just got a new contract and still has Chris Jones playing at a high level in terms of taking away some of the offensive line and the responsibility of being the guy, are we wrong to look at George Karlaftis and want more from him over the course of what we've seen this season?
No, not wrong at all. I think that's totally fair. And again, I think Karlaftis has had some times you go, hey, playoffs and down the stretch is when he's played his best ball for whatever reason. And again, this year you just have to get to that before you can cash that check. I think you're right to say that it's too early to be making any final calls on the contract, especially when the money for that hasn't really kicked in yet. And I understand how they got there math wise. It's like that's kind of around market value for a good defensive end. But that's the thing that the Chiefs are missing right now without getting like that every rep takeover kind of thing from Chris Jones. You need to find that. I'm being redundant here, but again, someone who can take over a game where you can get the quarterback out of rhythm and that you all of a sudden you're playing on your toes and they're playing on their heels. And the Chiefs defense just has not been able to do that very often this year unless they're sending pressure that gets there. And not all of the blitzes are working. Most of them weren't working against the Cowboys yesterday. And that was with a backup left tackle. And even that's been kind of a theme. Obviously, the Chiefs were out there with the backup O-line for a huge chunk of that game. They've gone up against a lot of teams battling offensive line injuries, and I still haven't seen one of those games where the Chiefs pass rush just absolutely takes over and puts the quarterback in hell. Again, the Daniel Jones experience in Arrowhead was probably the closest to that we've seen in quite some time. I think they paid Karlaftis as if they were kind of getting in at a point now where they're going to pay him this price and then hope that he does continue to improve. He's still really young for where he is in his career. I understand the logic of, no, we think he's going to keep playing better and better football and keep developing that way. But this has been a tough time when you're looking around going, man, they really, really, really need an impact pass rusher, a few more plays a game, and we just didn't see it yesterday.
Well, I guess we'll go from one disappointing young first-round pick to another. Xavier Worthy has looked like somewhat of a gadget guy. Where are we at with him? Is this an injury thing, and those are just kind of wearing on him throughout this year, and that's hindering his play? Is this a long-term issue? Did they draft a 160-pound gadget guy and kind of just does what Hardman does?
Yeah, I think I'm looking ahead to how I'm going to feel this offseason, predicting my own future.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm probably going to be the guy this offseason that goes, yeah, I understand that Xavier Worthy had some like tough moments and some underperformance issues this year, but it's because his shoulder was knocked halfway across the field 3 plays into the season, and then this speedster with change of direction ability battled an ankle the rest of the way that was clearly bothering him these last 2 weeks. I mean, it's been bothering him longer than that, but like I can think of specific moments the last couple of weeks where it's like, oh well, like I don't think he planted there the way that he would have if his ankle was healthy. And so even those two things, like the getting picked up by Kelsey on a crosser and having an ankle that mars you for the rest of the season, that to me isn't really like weight class stuff. And again, maybe you should be able to brush off some contact. He was able to deal with contact last year okay. There were still moments like him coming back for the football yesterday when he should have done that, where it's like, man, that's pretty frustrating. Or when he ends up catching that unbelievable play by Mahomes, and then you wonder, how could you have taken it the other direction and try to house that thing instead of just the big chunk play there so late in the game? I understand, I think, having a little bit of those questions about where he's at right now. I think that's reasonable. I think I am going to go into next year as a bit of an optimist for what he's going to look like after he gets his shoulder fixed, after he doesn't have to keep rolling out there week after week. I would say that if rest was any factor, I'd love some more Tyquan Thornton in the meantime. I don't feel like Xavier Worthy is absolutely mandatory to make the offense work at this point. Like, I think with Rice and the idea of Tyquan Thornton having a larger role, we've been talking about for several weeks now. I think that there was a pivot there that could have potentially been made to limit what they asked Worthy to do. But again, I think for him, I'm gonna chalk a lot of that up to the injury issues for him this year. And again, not just because he's lightweight for an NFL player. It's like a freak thing with his shoulder, and then everybody's got an ankle, I guess, at this point. But yeah, I think I'm going to remain optimistic on Worthy, but I understand why this year has been frustrating.
Speaking with Josh Briscoe, pre- and post-game host right here on your Chiefs Radio Network, home of the Chiefs, 96.5. The Fan, I don't know if it's not necessarily a big factor in why they lost yesterday, Josh. I mean, it might be to you, but one of the things, and just going back and looking, some of the things that I like to do, go look at TOP, look at third down conversions, fourth down efficiency, and everything like that. The Cowboys punted one time yesterday, and the Chiefs punted 5 times. And it felt like in a game where you stole a possession early on and scored a touchdown, you go up 7-0. It feels great because the offense technically started fast. The defense got to stop. Here we go. Then to just be down at halftime and go through a lull offensively where you're not really even able to move the football, and the defense is struggling to get any sort of a stop. Is that a major factor in how this game went in your mind, or do you think that this is something that the lulls in offense are kind of being masked at times by how good the defense has played up until really yesterday?
No, I think the third down issues, I think that is actually my number one thing from yesterday. I think that is, if you were to say, hey, you've got to explain to someone who didn't watch the game what happened, I would say, go look at the third downs and the punts. I understand there were a couple times the Chiefs just simply should have left the offense on the field on 4th and short around midfield. That ends up playing out pretty clearly as it goes. I understand in the moment, whatever. It's not always that easy. But not so many of those Chiefs punts came from either near or across midfield, just the way that things went there. That's awful. I mean, not even just they're all awful decisions, just an awful truth about your team. To go, man, we were crossing midfield, we were getting to midfield, and then ultimately punting it away for field position. Nice day for Matt Araiza, by the way, a little gold star for him. That was maybe the best special teams effort the Chiefs have had this season, which was squandered, which is also really frustrating. But no, I think the third down problems are the story of the game. The Chiefs had so many opportunities to get off the field, not just on 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2, 3rd and 3. 3rd and 7+. That ended up being the cutoff. And I don't have the final game stat. I had the stats at like halftime. And it never got better from that point on. I'm like, oh no, I mean, just the Cowboys get to 3rd and 7, and I think Dak was like 5 for 5 for 50 yards and a touchdown or something. In
6 for 6 for 94 yards and a touchdown, 5 first downs there, Briscoe.
There you go.
Unbelievable.
I mean, that's just not serious. And like, look, it also comes with a bad day for Trent McDuffie, who I think is an elite football player. So is CeeDee Lamb, and that ended up being a really tough matchup for a corner I believe in implicitly. You don't get any pressure. The Cowboys have time to find the guy they want there. They never figured out the slant to George Pickens. Like, that just felt like that was a surprise every time somehow. And obviously, Pickens and Lamb just had they've had unbelievable seasons. They're unbelievable players. The George Pickens resurgence is like pretty frustrating, but I understand that he has found a home there in Dallas. But no, the third down issues, if the Chiefs get off the field defensively on half of those 3rd and longs, which I'll call anything over 3rd and 7, they get off the field on half of those, they probably win that game. They convert and don't end up having so many of those terribly unfortunate punts, they probably win the game. So yeah, that to me, for the microcosm of Chiefs Cowboys, I think the third down problems on both sides of the ball, that's a bigger deal than anything else. That's a bigger deal than the tackle injuries. It's a bigger deal than the play calling. It's a bigger deal than any of the individual factors. That to me is where it really comes out.
Before we let you go, the text line made sure to say that you're Wicked's best fan.
Okay, so this is good. This came up with Carrington this week. Carrington said there was a texter that said they wanted to get my Wicked 2, Wicked for Good review, and I hadn't seen it yet. And Carrington said, well, all I know about it is that Ariana Grande is playing Dorothy. And I said, well, Carrington, that's not true either. Ariana Grande is playing Glinda, the Good Witch. But yes. I have now seen Wicked for Good. I have now seen part 2. My wife Renee and I went out and did that on Wednesday and did a little, kind of tried to celebrate a little Thanksgiving a day early, considering that yesterday was a work day. I enjoyed it very much. I enjoyed the first one. I knew nothing about Wicked. I knew
you didn't know the
storyline.
Okay,
but no, I didn't know the storyline. I didn't know the couple of twists that came through. Once the first one happened, I knew what was going on. I started picking up the clues.
I envy you. Yes.
It was fun though. So look, Renee also delivered the breakdown of the fact that like they really PG'd it to make it a little more kid friendly for the release. I wasn't aware of that until Renee explained it all. But I'm at a point now where I'm like, I would go see the show because I feel like I've kind of gotten the gist of it, and it's a good movie adaptation. But yeah, I went in not knowing very much, and I enjoyed both parts of it. And it's not my favorite thing of all time, but I am happy to say that I have caught up and I have enjoyed it.
Very good. I think I might have to catch up because the wife loves. I haven't seen Wicked. She saw the first one. I haven't. Dude. She is fired up for the second one.
Very, very good.
Yeah, you just got to do it. It's a good hang. You're gonna have a nice time in the theater, and you got to make your wife happy by watching. It's 100%. This one's a layup. You know this. You don't have to work very hard. You're gonna sit down. You're gonna watch a nice movie. It looks pretty good. The music's very good. All the performances are great. I'll tell you this. Jeff Goldblum is worth the price of admission. It's just a perfect casting. So that I won't say anything else about what happens in the movies because I didn't know, and I appreciated that. But yeah, you can just know you're gonna go get a really classic performance from Jeff Goldblum, and then be surprised by a lot of other things if you're like me.
Fantastic, Josh. Thank you very much. Appreciate the time. We'll talk to you next week.
Sounds good, fellas. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Briscoe.
That is Josh Briscoe, pre- and post-game host. You hear him right here on 96.5 The Fan throughout the week on all the 3 shows. He'll be back as normal with us next week, previewing, maybe recapping a little bit of the Cowboys game as the regular shows will be back, but also looking ahead to the big game against the Houston Texans. We will take a break, and when we come back, yes, there is an NFL football game today. There is also some college football games. And who would I be to not talk about some college football? We're going to talk about...
I'm hard.
Settle down. We're going to talk about Kansas a little bit because they have a chance to get to a bowl game today. If not, then they're going to have a losing record and miss out once again, as well as some of the other big ones, including, of course, Lane Kiffin, Mac's favorite coach in all of college football. He'd rather him coach there than Josh Heupel at Tennessee. I think you'd rather want him back in Tennessee, yeah? Huh?
No, absolutely not.
We'll be right back to break it down. Right here it is Black Friday football coverage on 96.5 The Fan.
You're listening to Black Friday football coverage with Mac Maury and Drew Nixon on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
As you've likely figured out, I can get pretty fired up. Whether it's Lab Diamond ripoffs, bogus sells and financing offers, or paint-by-number jewelry sold as custom, I'm pretty passionate about protecting my client family from predatory jewelers. This is Gene at House of Diamonds, and when I say client family, I really do mean family. At House of Diamonds, we have clients who have watched our kids grow from diapers to dormitories. My family and I are personally in the store every day. We go to school and church here. Our kids play sports here. We look our clients in the eye, not in their bank accounts. Our relationships are based on trust and respect, not ad gimmicks and false promises. No fake custom jewelry, no bogus sales and financing offers, and absolutely no Lab Diamond ripoffs. Everything at House of Diamonds is real. Me, my family, our team, our passion, and hopefully soon, you. House of Diamonds on the southeast corner of College and Quivira.
With the first pick in the McDonald's breakfast draft, I'm going with a tasty sausage, egg, and cheese McGriddle sandwich. Bold move, sweet, savory, totally stacked. But wait, that delicious sausage McMuffin with egg sandwich is still on the board. Lucky for me, McD lets you mix and match 2 for just $5. And right now, any size iced coffee is only $1.89. Breakfast at McDonald's. That's the real winning deal. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Prices and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal. Single item at regular price.
Danon Hughes here. I've seen a lot of stat lines in my playing days, but these numbers, they caught my attention. Flight by Yingling. 2.6 carbs, 95 calories, and all the crisp, refreshing flavor you want in a light beer. It's brewed by the oldest brewery in America, so you know it's got some serious history behind it. If you're into stats and taste, you're going to love this beer. Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer and the official beer of Danon Hughes. DG Yingling & Son, Pottsville, Pennsylvania.
Hey, it's Alex Gold, and I'm back in an F-150 thanks to Shawnee Mission Ford. This one's this beautiful star white color. If you go to my social media at Alex Gold, you can see I put out a video explaining some of the awesome features in this hybrid truck that I'm now driving. And it's a great time for you to go check out the vehicle for yourself at Shawnee Mission Ford because they've got their blue event going on starting on Black Friday, going through Cyber Monday, where they're offering an additional $500 to you with any vehicle purchase. You still get the giant discounts, the top trade-in values, and 0% on most new vehicles. And then they're going to let you decide how you use the $500. You want more discounts, gift cards, or cash? Who's going to complain with that this holiday season? Just tell them how you want to use the $500. That's their way of saying thank you and happy holidays. So make Shawnee Mission Ford part of your Black Friday and Cyber Monday with an additional $500 to you with any vehicle purchase. Shawnee Mission Ford, on a mission to do more.
I'm Mitch Holtis, voice of the Chiefs. Everyone develops cataracts naturally as they get older. When your vision is affected by cataracts, you should see my doctor, Dr. Steven Silverstein at Silverstein Eye Centers. Dr. Silverstein is a world-renowned cataract surgeon who performs life-changing laser-assisted cataract surgery with premium lens implants to correct your vision up close and far away. Trust my eye doctor, Dr. Steven Silverstein, Silverstein Eye Centers, 816-358-3600 to schedule an appointment.
Oh, hey, welcome to gift wrapping. Whoa, Zoe Saldana.
Hey, can you wrap these, please?
Wow, iPhone 17s. You splurged.
At T-Mobile, you can get 4 iPhone 17s on them. The new center stage front camera is amazing for group selfies. It's the perfect gift for everyone.
I'm the worst. I only got my mom a robe.
Well, it's better than socks.
So, I have to trade in my old phone, right?
No, at T-Mobile, there's no trade-ins needed when you switch. Keep your old phone or give it as a gift.
Incredible.
In fact, wrap up my old phone, too, for my Aunt Rosa. Forget that. Aunt Liz will be jealous.
Sounds like my family. Drama.
Oh, I got it. I'll give it to my abuela. I'll take reindeer paper with, hey, where are you going?
To T-Mobile! The holidays are better at T-Mobile. Get 4 iPhone 17s on us. No trade-in needed when you switch. Plus 4 lines for just $25 a line.
With 24 monthly bill credits and 4 eligible port-ins on Essentials for well-qualified customers. Auto pay plus taxes, fees, and $35 device connection charge. Credits end in balance due if you pay off early or cancel. Contact us. Finance agreement 256 gigabytes, $830 required. Visit T-Mobile.com.
The guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Cunahan, president of Leaf Filter, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions and bring you a special Black Friday offer.
Hey, everybody. Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have Leaf Filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/deal. And now, as a special Black Friday offer, you can get a free gutter inspection, plus up to 35% off. This is our best offer of the season. Unlock it now at leaffilter.com/deal. See representative for warranty details.
Get ready, Missouri. FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook, is coming soon. Starting on December 1st, new customers in Missouri can get up to $300 in bonus bets when you make your first $5 bet. From touchdowns to three-pointers, with FanDuel, any play can be the play of the game. With live betting, you can even get in on the action after the game has already started. All on an app that's safe, secure, and easy to use. Visit FanDuel.com/Missouri to learn more. And you'll be all set to bet when FanDuel goes live in Missouri on December 1st. That's FanDuel.com/Missouri. Play your game of FanDuel, the #1 rated sportsbook app. Must be 21 and present in Missouri. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Offer starts 12/1/25. Excludes customers who redeem pre-launch sign-up offer. Bonus issue is non-withdrawable bonus bets which expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit FanDuel.com/RG.
Chiefs coverage brought to you by Andy's Frozen Custard. Visit eatandys.com to find the location nearest you. Top your day with a smile.
Let me tell you about my good friend Andy from Andy's Frozen Custard. He's from Kansas City, never misses a game, and serves the world's finest frozen custard. Tailgate with a Pick 6 or grab a freshly made custom treat before or after a game. And tell him Mitch and Andy sent you.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
We are back. One more segment to go here. It's Black Friday football coverage on 96.5 The Fan. Drew Nixon, McMorey, hanging out with you here for another half hour. Bink is fired up. I'm telling you guys, you've gotta tune in to Jay Binkley when he comes up at the top of the hour. Him and JT have the next 3 hours
that
after
guy's an idiot, man.
After us. We will get a BBL stinky drop coming up here in just a moment.
Thank you, Jay. Thank you, Jay Binkley. Jay's in the studio making his presence known, not through the mic, but through the phone line.
He also, I don't know if he told you this, he printed out, okay, as we transition to college football coverage here, real quick.
He did tell me this.
He printed out, do you have the camera on me?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Show the camera.
He printed out the college football games today. Not just one, but 2 pages for today and tomorrow. The games in bold are the ones that he's watching. The other ones are the ones that you just need to be watching in general and paying attention to. Let's go, dude. I am fired up.
Yes.
I think Bink might be more fired up than any of us. Like, if you think you're fired up for today, Jay Binkley is more fired up than you. I can promise you that. To talk about the Chiefs and college football and to watch some college football.
BBL stinky.
He's fired up, bro. He's fired up. He's ready to go. Can't blame him. Hey, you know what? Who needs the ESPN app or whatever score app you use, schedule app that you use? Just get a piece of paper, write it down, bold them up, and then you know what you're doing today. Bink coming into the studio. I'll tell you what.
I know that I'm hard.
He is ready to go. And you'll hear him soon, 20 minutes.
Before we get to Ole Miss and Mississippi State, because there's a lot on Lane Kiffin's mind beyond just the Egg Bowl today. That'll be happening while Bink is on the air. Bink, I'm sure, will be giving you some updates on those games, as will the Kansas and Utah game. That game on ESPN. The Jayhawks looking to get to 6-6. They play Utah, who are currently 13th in the country. It is hosted in Lawrence, so maybe our guy Rob Brenton's at the game. I'm not sure if he wants to go witness what could happen today. Rob is not very optimistic about it, but hey, you know what?
He probably shouldn't be, right? It's probably fair.
It's senior day. Jalen Daniels' last game, potentially as a Jayhawk. If they can pull off a stunner, that would be the biggest upset by far. And even close, if they found a way to win.
Would that'd be bowl contention? That'd be.
Oh, if they won, they'd be in a bowl game, and it would be the biggest upset probably that we'll see this weekend.
Yeah.
Just considering how things have gone for the Kansas Jayhawks this year. But hey, look, we've talked about it on the podcast, 249 Miles of College Football podcast.
Oh, yeah.
New one, by the way, is out.
Is it already?
Yeah, new one came out on Wednesday. I predicted all of the games for this weekend, the top 6 games. Yeah, it's that time of the year, Mac, where we are debating college football playoff stuff, and we are looking at drama in the sport.
Yep.
Lane Kiffin, we don't know where he's going to coach at next season. He'll announce it tomorrow.
Big storyline there.
And we'll get to that in just a second. But it is that time of year where we've got a boatload of games. Also, besides those 2 that I mentioned, Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech trying to keep their playoff hopes alive. If they win, they have a shot to go to the ACC and win it. KU plays Utah, by the way. The Utah Utes, 13th in the country, coming up here at 11. And then Texas A&M and Texas later on today. A&M looking to secure a bye, if you will, by winning this game. They're already in the SEC title game, but as we know, it's not just the conference champions that are automatically seeded the highest. It is straight seeding this year, unlike last year. And then Arizona State later on today. But I do want to talk about Lane Kiffin. And I know you want to talk about Lane Kiffin as well, as he is maybe one of the biggest stories, if not the biggest story, currently in college football outside of the playoff.
What a joke.
Lane Kiffin, 10-1 Ole Miss. They're 7th in the country. If they, this music right here.
Oh yeah, you got to have this.
This is.
It just means more, baby.
Vern Lundquist. I know it's Brad Nessler, and Brad Nessler does a great job.
He
But
does.
This is Uncle Vern, SEC, Saturday at 2:30. I dig it. So they play the Egg Bowl today. Ole Miss is probably going to win the game. It is a rivalry game, though, and we see crazy things happen in college football, Mac. But the big thing is, after this one, where does Lane Kiffin go? Coach Drinkwitz signs the extension, which is obviously great for Missouri. It felt like they needed to get it done before Lane Kiffin announced what he was going to do. Clark Lee announces that he is staying. He gets an extension at Vandy. So all of a sudden, these jobs are open like Florida, LSU, and Penn State, and nobody's taking them right now. Does Lane Kiffin stay at Ole Miss, or does he leave? If he leaves, it sounds like LSU is the place, but right now it is LSU or Florida, and we're all going to wait to see what happens tomorrow when he announces it.
Is it the New York Giants?
I did see somebody. I think it was Tom Fornelli. They gave predictions on where Lane Kiffin ends up. Tom Fornelli said the Titans.
The Titans?
Yeah.
Oh no! If he's going to the NFL, he's going to the G-Men.
He's going to
Jackson Dart. He's going over to New York. And frankly, should New York do that? No. Should Lane Kiffin do that? Why not? It'd be fun. He'd love it.
No, this is the thing. So, me being a college football purist, I don't want to see Lane Kiffin leave college football. I think he's great for the sport.
He is.
I think he's so much fun. I hope tomorrow it's not going to happen, but I hope he puts out 3 hats on a table.
I love this idea.
He goes on game day.
Yes.
LSU, Ole Miss, and Florida, and then he picks where he's going to be at. Just soak it all in. And honestly, is it a selfish moment for Lane Kiffin? Sure, it looks that way. But there's nothing more college football than a decision day moment. Exactly. And that's what we would get from Lane Kiffin if he did that. What do you think happens, though?
I think he probably does go to LSU. He's leaving. He's leaving because this is what he does.
You think he's leaving for sure?
He's leaving Ole Miss.
Okay.
This is what he does. He's done this time and time and time again. I mean, at some point, I forget the exact saying, but if someone shows you who they are, believe them. And Lane Kiffin has shown us who he is over and over again. And I know, listen, I've watched my fiance do it over the last 4 years, grow this infatuation, this affection, this love, this loyalty for Lane Kiffin as she watches her program rise to the top and become this elite, almost blue chip type franchise, type organization in college football, just to see it all crumble away in a snap because he wants it to. Because Lane Kiffin isn't about all that. He's not about the us, the we, the us building something. He's all talk, dude, and he's about himself, and this is what he wants. He wants to go to the and listen. And Bob's already given me the rant, the money, the personal. You want to make more for yourself, and I get all that. But this is the situation to where Ole Miss has said we will pay you just as much. We will pay you the money, and not only that, they have the resources. They are forking over the NIL. As far as I know, Drew, they're paying these players. It's not even about the facilities like it used to. I know LSU's got them beaten in facilities, but to me, Lane Kiffin has the rare opportunity, and he's already doing it, to bring Ole Miss to great or really good to great elite blue chip type status, and he's doing it.
So I think that
and he's gonna leave.
Yeah, I think that LSU might be offering the full amount, if not a little bit more, of the NIL budget, quote unquote, which is $20.5 million. They said 25. How? I don't know, but
we'll never know.
but I do think that where we're at in college football, if you just took Lane Kiffin out of it, what is the LSU job compared to the Ole Miss job? LSU job is probably better. I think a lot of people would say that. But for Lane Kiffin, the job feels like a lateral move if he goes to LSU because he's got Ole Miss top 5 in the country, top 10 in the country throughout the season. He's got him in the college football playoff. They are locked in to the college football playoff right now. Ole Miss is.
Mm-hmm.
They win today, they will absolutely be locked in. If they're 10-2, they'll have a loss to Mississippi State, but they're 10-2, not 9-3. And by the way, that loss to Mississippi State would not be as bad as Alabama's loss to Florida State that they had. So in my opinion, they would still be ahead of the Alabama Crimson Tide. But when you're looking at moves in college football, I don't think it's as much about the job itself now as it is the coach at the job. And what I mean by that is Penn State is clearly a better job than Indiana when it's not Curt Cignetti coaching the Indiana Hoosiers. That's a sideways move from go to Indiana to Penn State if you're Curt Cignetti, because with Indiana, he's got them top 2 in the country. That's as good as James Franklin ever had, and James Franklin's one of the most successful coaches we've seen in the last 5 years. Why would you leave to go technically rebuild a program and bring him back up? Ole Miss, not that LSU needs to get rebuilt necessarily. Florida kind of does.
Yeah, exactly.
Why would you leave Ole Miss to go and do that in particular? I think Lane Kiffin stays at Ole Miss, actually. I think he bucks that trend, and I think he stays.
I hope you're right. He should.
And I think more of my prediction, I guess, is more on hope, I believe. Also, if he stays at Ole Miss, I think the two schools most in trouble or the school most in trouble, I guess, is Florida. Because if Kiffin stays, then I think John Summerall would be a home run hire. He makes all the sense in the world for LSU. He's in Baton Rouge, or in New Orleans at Tulane, recruits the area already, been in the SEC before. It all works out. Florida is the team that I would be worried about going forward. Penn State still, who the heck knows what Penn State's going to do? But if Lane Kiffin stays, the candidates are starting to run out that are top-tier candidates, and we hear Florida and LSU talk all about the top candidates. They want the top candidate. Well, guess what? You got rid of your coach, and all of a sudden the top candidates are staying where they're at. Sometimes, as you mentioned earlier, the grass is not always greener, Mac. This was a Chiefs-related topic, but the statement remains the same, and it applies for college football. Coach Drinkwitz, is it cool to go to Florida or LSU? Yeah, but is the grass always greener? Not necessarily. And he decided to stay, and shout out to Missouri for getting that deal done and getting it done before Lane Kiffin, because I think if that deal wasn't signed and Lane Kiffin announces where he's going or if he's staying, I think LSU and Florida offer the same deal for Drinkwitz, not because Drinkwitz is as good as Lane Kiffin is, but because they're desperate. And Missouri got the deal done. So shout out to Missouri for that.
So, absolutely. Yeah, first point, so correct, dude. Shout out to the Tigers. Like, were you saying that they were going to get that done before? Because they.
So I didn't say.
That surprised me. Good for them.
So I didn't predict that they would get it done. What I said on the podcast, and of course, now if you listen to it already has happened. But if you listen to it, I basically said, I brought it up and I said, it feels like Missouri needs to get it done before Saturday, just because they want to lock and load, drink for the future, and not worry about what Lane Kiffin has to do. Because for the most part, up until their discussions were announced, if Lane Kiffin stays at Ole Miss, Drink is the next guy. Even if he goes to LSU, Florida's going to look to Eli Drinkwitz because he's the next guy up. Because Lane Kiffin's off the table. Brian Kelly, probably not going to bring him over, although at this rate, Brian Kelly might end up at Florida. And I think that's kind of nuts, but I mean, he might, if you're looking at top-tier coaching hires, Brian Kelly's name, if you're Penn State, Brian Kelly's name, now that this whole thing with LSU's kind of figured out.
Can I bring a name to you?
For Florida, sure.
No, just in general. Just in general, because I mean, you're bringing up names like as you mentioned, like Drink stayed. If what you say is going to happen with Lane Kiffin, he stays. All of a sudden, it's like LSU, Florida, Penn State. There are a couple of schools who are like, "Whoa, what are we doing? We thought these dominoes were going to fall that didn't, and now we're kind of sit here with our hands in between our butt, right? Like, what do you do?" Chip Kelly just got fired. He was a top head coaching candidate in college football until he went to Las Vegas with the Raiders in the NFL. I know he just got fired as an OC with the worst team in the NFL. So he's not exactly coming off of a good stint the last 11 weeks, but he was hot before that.
If I could see somebody
like this Penn State take a chance, I don't know, dude. This is crazy, but this is college football.
If he had to pick between the two, I actually think maybe Florida because he's got the quarterback in DJ Lagway.
Yep.
But I think Penn State might be more realistic because they might offer him eventually if it gets down to it.
They'll get desperate.
I know Nick Saban said Brian Daboll to Penn State makes sense. I would stay away from that. I would avoid that like crazy.
I would love Brian Daboll in college.
I would avoid that if I was Penn State. I would not.
You see that text?
I did. I will say the hands in between our butt.
Hands in between our butt, bro.
I haven't heard that one either ever or in a long time. But
either ever.
I looked past it. For the 913, I think this is an interesting question. Does Leipold go rebuild Florida or own state? Well, if Wisconsin had fired Luke Fickell, maybe. But I don't think because he obviously has the history with Wisconsin, Whitewater, and all those things. I would say no because going 5-7 if let me be honest to the 913. If Lance Leipold had gone, if he went 9-4 this year again like he did a few years back, I think Lance Leipold would actually be a really hot name with Penn State and with Florida.
I agree.
The problem, though, is that he's not. And maybe if he beats Utah and wins, I'll be honest with you, all of a sudden he might actually be a possibility. Maybe if Lance Leipold if they beat Utah today and then they win the bowl game and go 7-6 maybe all of a sudden his name is maybe mentioned. I know that I heard Matt Campbell's name getting mentioned a little bit at Iowa State.
That'd be cool.
His name has kind of come up a little bit.
On the text line, Ed Orgeron?
Ed Orgeron, I think, would be great for college football. Do I think it's going to happen? No.
Why?
Because I think there's better options than Coach O as far as head coach. Because I know, like, Alex Golish basically has taken the job at Arkansas. Ryan Silverfield, to my knowledge, if I remember right, just thinking of all the coaching hires, Ryan Silverfield is still available. John Sumrall is still available. I would take both of them in a heartbeat over Coach O. There's some other coaches, maybe coordinators. You look at Glenn Schumann. He's kind of been in line for a job, maybe. DC at Georgia. I mean, Kirby's not going anywhere. Does he potentially get some love? I'll be honest, Corey Batoon doing a great job with that Missouri defense. If Ole Miss opens up, not that Ole Miss would want to make that hire right away, but we're talking like mid-tier level SEC jobs. Corey Batoon's name, I think, is an interesting one potentially. Does Andy Reid get fired and go to college?
And
absolutely not.
You're
I think
an idiot. You don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, no, we can be done with that. That's a funny joke.
I think Andy Reid would absolutely hate college. And it's not
different
because
jobs.
Not because Andy couldn't do it, but I think the concept of recruiting and pitching and all of those things, Andy just wants to focus on football. We've seen coaches go. Jeff Hafley quit as Boston College head coach to go be the DC in Green Bay. And he talked about how he loved just getting back to coaching football again instead of all the other extracurricular stuff. I will say, not that it's going to be ultimately very successful. Well, Bill Belichick is doing a better job here. He's got North Carolina looking a lot better here these last few weeks. I'm not saying it's going to work out, like they're going to be a title contender or make the playoff. But I think that Bill Belichick actually has kind of adjusted himself a little bit, and I'm intrigued to see what happens next season. Mike Gundy?
Yeah, Mike Gundy.
I think Gundy is going to coach again in college football, but
100%.
Mike Gundy screams to me a very similar situation to your former Tennessee Vols coach, Butch Jones. Butch Jones is coaching in the Sun Belt right now. He didn't have to take that job. He made all the money in the world after that Tennessee job, but I think he loves coaching football.
He loves football. Good
And
guy.
and that's why I think he is coaching in the Sun Belt. I think Mike Gundy screams like Tulsa job, which also would be, I think
That
that'd
would be
actually
fun.
I don't know their whole situation, but if they, I think they just recently hired a new head coach, but if they, for whatever reason, didn't have a new head coach and needed one, Mike Gundy might be an interesting name. Same recruiting base, all those other things. At that point, you're really just coaching the players to coach them like the portal obviously is a part of it, but you're not having the expectation of going and bringing guys in from the portal that are top-tier talent competing in a conference that's difficult and salty like the Big 12 is. You're developing talent. I think the group of five would fit well for a coach like Mike Gundy, whether it's a Sun Belt, American, CUSA, whatever. That's some college football talk, though, for you. There's some great games this weekend, obviously.
Great games.
Michigan, Ohio State, the game. I think do you want to go through Saturday 6 picks real quick?
Yeah, do it.
Okay.
You got about a minute.
Perfect. Georgia Tech is going to lose to Georgia. Texas is going to lose to Texas A&M.
Love it.
Michigan is going to lose to Ohio State, unfortunately.
Badly or no? Because that could be a blowout, right?
No, I think the game is relatively
Game's close. Okay.
Pitt is going to beat Miami. And Diego Pavia been talking all that smack. Tennessee's going to beat Vandy.
Let's go.
Kiss my ass.
Come on, baby.
Blair,
I'm so ready.
Rocky Top, turn that thing up and go nuts.
No, it's going to be good. It's going to be good. Yeah, we need to win that game to salvage this season, which hasn't been a bad one by any means with all the Nico Iamaleava debacle that happened right before the season. To go get Aguilar and to have him play as well as he did, I feel okay about it. But, yeah, to salvage kind of what this season was, I need my Vols to win that game, dude.
I hope the Vols do because it'll make up for the Thursday mess that you had yesterday in terms of the Chiefs. I feel bad for y'all.
I mean, it is what it is. It's been a good last 8 years, and if they don't make the playoffs this year, which by the way,
we are not going there. They still got 5 games left.
I was going to say, which by the way, if they don't make the playoffs, that's fine. They've got the next 8 years after this. This is by no means over. This was unfortunate year, but they can fix a lot of these issues.
Hey, for the 816, sorry, voice to text. The only college game that matters is last night's game. I'll tell you what, a college team looked better than the team y'all root for, because that was the case yesterday. He's Mac Maury. I'm Drew Nixon. Thank y'all for listening. We'll be back next week. Full slate of schedule, reacting more to the Cowboys game. Also looking ahead to Houston. We'll see if the Chiefs can bounce back and get a much-needed win next week.
And now we're kind of sitting here with our hands in between our butt, right? Like,
you're listening to